Live and local, it's time for Fan Sports Sunday. If the weekend is a big desert for sports talk, think of this show as an oasis.
Yes, here we go.
Come drink from our pool of hot takes as you quench your thirst with. I thought I was going somewhere, but I'm not. So let's just start the show. Here's Elon Musk.
No Elon Musk. No Jeff Tito Fitoff either, as he just joined On the Money for the last segment. Live from out in Vegas. Who knows what kind of debauchery Tito is getting into. I am Ryan Baker, though, filling in for Tito. To my right, the great eight, Devier Posey. Devier, my friend, it has been a while since you and I got to do this together. How have you been?
What's up, Bake? What's up, Columbus? Man, yeah, I couldn't imagine, the things that Tito is getting into out there in Vegas. I hope he comes back safe. I hope there's no hangover stories. And Tito gets back to us safe and sound.
I'm sure there's going to be stories. I don't know. I don't know exactly what they'll entail or if they'll be good for the air, but there will definitely be stories. Man, there's so much to talk about. Not only about the 4-0 Ohio State Buckeyes, Devier, but it was just a wild and crazy day of college football. We're going to get into all of that. The Buckeyes, 38-7 winners over Michigan State last night in East Lansing. They got off to another slow start, but they got things going. Devier, the defense, it seemed like to me they were a little worried about Aiden Child's playmaking ability and his running ability. Mm-hmm. So maybe they kind of sat back early, and Michigan State was able to take advantage of that, but they really changed that in the second half. It seemed to be they got more to their game and played aggressive, and Ohio State really dominated this game outside of the first quarter, 38-7.
Yeah, I felt like offensively the game plan was to get Emeka Egbuka going a little bit early, get Cardell Tate going a little bit early, and I was just like, where are the Jeremiah Smith targets? And then as the game wore on and big plays were made, it's not too crazy to say that potentially a Fred Biletnikoff winner could be a freshman, and that being Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams. I mean, those guys are playing at an incredible clip to start the season, and you just see the big playmaking ability by Jeremiah Smith. It is a man amongst boys already at this phase in his career, and the highlight catches and highlight reels that we're already getting, I'm just so excited that we get to have 2 more years of this stuff, man.
I hope we get 2 more years of it. I mean, there's no reason to think not, but there's going to be places coming, flashing bags of cash at this kid, and I'm sure he'll make a lot here, but there's places that are going to be coming after him. I hope that we can keep him here, and I think we will. Yeah. But, gosh, we are watching, and we're going to get into him even more later on in the show. We're going to devote a whole segment to him. Mm-hmm. But we are watching something really, really special. I mean, this is – and that's crazy to say because we've just gone through Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Marvin Harrison Jr. We still have the greatness that is Emeka Egbuka, and he had a great game last night as well. But this is something I think that's on a whole nother level, Devier.
Yeah, I think this kid might be better than all of those guys at this age. And so it's going to take him to be better at his sophomore year, him to be better at his junior year. But right now, just what I'm seeing from him maturity-wise, understanding the game, when the play needs to be made. I mean, those were cover 2 plays that he made, right? That first one-handed grab going up, and what we call it is cracking peanuts on a DB's head. You just go up there and have a party, right? You just go up there, crack some sunflower seeds, go get that ball, and come down with your feet in bounds. That was a great play. Him showing the speed on the Andy Reid, Kansas City Chiefs, Xavier Worthy reverse. I felt like Coach Chip took a play out of their playbook right there, just showing the explosion. And then obviously the one-handed grab and cover 2. Devin Brown just came in. How do you make Devin Brown's job easy on a 3rd and 10? Not being warmed up in a night game on the road. Hey, close your eyes and throw it up to number 4. He'll make your job easy. And we were able to score right there, Big. So, yeah, I love what I'm seeing, man. I was actually excited to see us not get off to a hot start and us to kind of face some adversity, because when we face adversity, you get to see the layers of how good this team is, right? Like when your back is against the wall, I finally got to see Ryan Ransom make a play after, getting ran over. He said, okay, I'm going to come out here and I'm about to Mike Tyson Peanut Tillman this ball. Boom, big turnover in the red zone. Okay, you guys want to be physical and throw these screens? I'm going to show you the tackle ability and the physicality of Caleb Downs. Okay, we need to get a rush on Aiden Childs. Yeah, everybody knows Jack Sawyer's name, but some people might be forgetting that we also have number 44. He's just going to bull rush left tackle into the quarterback and go sack him. Cody Simon making plays. Then we have Sonny Styles making plays. You really get to see, hey, when our back's against the walls, that we really have great players. And having great players doesn't mean that we're going to just go and blow everybody out. That's not what that means. Having great players means that when it's time to make a play, these guys are going to make a freaking play, and it's going to be huge. And I love to see that. Like, I can't wait to see me in more tight games. Obviously, us winning them, but I don't want to blow out teams all the way to Natty. Like, that's just not going to happen. That's not realistic. I mean, Holy Buckeye, 2002. In 2014, we lost to Virginia Tech. It's going to take tight games, and it's going to take coming back from adversity for us to win a Natty, and we kind of got to get that experience early.
I'm glad you just mentioned 2002, because earlier we were talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers and how they're still, even though they're off to a 3-0 start, they have a 2-game lead in the AFC North. They're still not the betting favorite to win the AFC North. Before the year, you could get their over-under in some places at 7.5. Their over-under 8.5. Whatever that is, that's a losing season where their over-under was for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a team that Mike Tomlin has been there for 18 years. He's never had a losing season.
Yep.
It seems like we don't credit just winning games. It has to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect. We have to nitpick everything. 2002, I don't think there were ever any perfect games, but all that team did was win football games, and we all get caught up in it. I get caught up in it. I was nitpicking Will Howard like crazy last night, especially in that first half, and why I was doing that is because I think this team can be great, and I need to know if Will can make the holy Buckeye throw when we need to. And I'm not sure he can. You are sure that he can, but I think that's why we nitpick, because we've had it so good here at Ohio State that perfection is what we strive for. That's the standard now. So when we don't see it, and when we see a first quarter like last night where they're only winning 3-0 and it doesn't look great, we're like, oh, well, here goes the season.
No. And all Ohio State fans, we all have to admit it and look in the mirror. We're all recovering perfectionists. And we all put expectations on these kids that we ourselves couldn't even meet. And so the thing that I do like about Will Howard's performance, I thought Will took a shot in the gut, right? And to me, that showed me a lot of his toughness. Now, he had to go out for a play, but he came back in the second half and he finished. And on certain blitzes, Ryan, like the running back has to pick up a backer, but if they bring 7 and we got 5 in protection, 3 guys are out, and the running back picks up one of those blitzers, one of those guys are free. And what has to happen is the quarterback has to beat that blitzer with a throw, or he might have to evade the blitzer, step up, and hit somebody. But for you to stand there, throw the ball with somebody barreling down in your face and take a shot, that's big boy stuff. Like, that's Tom Brady stuff. That's Peyton Manning stuff. Like, and I'm not saying he's those kind of guys, but just having that awareness that I have to beat this blitzer with the throw and I have to take a shot in the chin. You, like, in bigger games, when he gets to watch this film and see and correct those things, he'll get praise for that. Like that's a good thing that he didn't shy away or just tuck and take the sack. Like, yeah, he could have had a better throw. He could have delivered a little bit better. But the fact that he's willing to do it, that shows me that this guy has played high-level college football. He understands moments. He understands opportunities. And I think we have the right guy.
Something else I want to talk about, and we were all kind of wondering because we haven't seen the highlight flashy plays yet again. We look over consistent and steady a lot of times because we want to see the one-handed Jeremiah Smith catches. We want to see the brilliant plays. Caleb Downs kind of had his coming out party at Ohio State last night where he made some plays. Ohio State, the defense needed him to step up and make a play, and he did last night. He had a couple big plays, and he's been good all year so far. But last night, I think Caleb Downs was spectacular and really brought that defense with him.
Yeah, you really get to see how good he is in terms of run support, in terms of form tackling, in terms of physicality, and just timing. You might think a safety has to be more like Ed Reed, catching, catching picks and doing return, pick sixes, but
a Malik Hooker, like what he did that one great year here at Ohio State.
But Caleb Downs' attributes are he is a missile. That he will come down and run support. He is a missile in terms of understanding play recognition, formations, sniffing out screens, sniffing out bubbles, sniffing out jet sweeps. He does that stuff at such a high level. And that's what I'm saying, Bake. Like, we won't really get to see how great this team is until we get in a dogfight, until it's like 21-17 and somebody makes a huge play like Ransom knocking the ball out or like Caleb Downs being physical, like
Denzel taking one to the house.
Yeah, like there's no way for us to see how good these guys are in blowout games. Like, it's just like I don't want to sit on my couch and watch blowout games. Like, I want to watch these guys answer calls in adversity. I want to see these guys show me like, hey, like, this is why I got recruited here. This is why I'm here. And I got to see a glimpse of it. And I sat on my couch and I was just like, this is nice as I rub my two big toes together.
I love the word you used there talking about Caleb and missile. And I think this defense, and like we talked about, I think last night they played a little conservative at the beginning of the game. And we had maybe some defensive issues there earlier. And I think that was out of respect, again, for Aiden Childs and what he can do.
Yeah, you're talking about with the soft coverage.
Yeah, playing off a little bit. But I think this defense is going to be best when they're going downhill because they have missiles. They have Caleb Downs. They have Lathan Ransom. They have Sonny Styles, C.J. Hicks, Cody Simon, Davison Igbinosun. They have missiles.
So you kind of see Jim Knowles going through PTSD in terms of like his first year, right? Like he was aggressive in his first year. And then last year he was okay with playing, bend don't break defense, and it was solid. But I think all of the holes that he had last year, he fixed them with maturity of players, right? Also in the portal, speed and guys getting better. And so it's like what you're saying is he should almost be comfortable going back to that game plan that he had.
I think this is a get after it defense.
This is the type. I think they play better that way, right?
Yes.
Like, I think they play better when they are the aggressor.
And they did that more in the second half last night.
They let the chains off a little bit, and it's tough as a play caller when you've been burned on big plays before. But you're right. This defense, when they're attacking, they can play at another level.
I'm going to give you a rundown of what's coming up on the show here. And this actually just came about. Coming up here at 11:33, we're going to talk to 10 TV's Adam King. He's making the trip back now from East Lansing. We'll see what he saw up there last night at 12:33. Mecca Don will join us. I heard his bucked up video that was the Buckeye hype video this year.
Yeah.
I heard that on some NFL highlights over the week, so that was pretty cool. I want to talk to him about that. The Blue Jackets, their season is going to be starting before we know it. They had a preseason game last night, a big win. We'll talk to Dylan Tyrer, the radio pre- and post-game host on the Blue Jackets radio network. We'll also talk to Brendan Gulick. He's the publisher of Buckeyes Now, coming up at 2 p.m. as well. But next, we will get Ryan Day's reaction, what he thought of the game last night. It's Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. Just freak the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Your car needs a new battery. That'll be $19,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a second opinion.
You wouldn't accept that quote, so why accept this one from that other company?
$19,000 for a new sewer line.
I'm going to call the waterworks instead.
Facing an expensive sewer repair? If another company's quote is way more than expected, call the Waterworks for a second opinion. We have the most experienced drain techs in Central Ohio. Call 614-232-2222.
Football. Are you ready for the football game of the century? Popular Columbus football team versus the blue team. Penalties, rushing, pick six, touchdown. You can win 2 front row tickets to the coolest football stadium in the country. The one that's shaped like what goes on the bottom of a horse's foot. You don't want to miss this football game. Go to nitroroofing.com for your chance to win. And make sure your roof and siding are in peak condition for this football season with Nitro Roofing and Construction.
You know Diamonds Direct for their exquisite diamonds and fine jewelry. What about luxury watches? With a handpicked collection by the industry's top timepiece experts, skip the waiting list and get the timepiece you've been eyeing right away. And this month only, enjoy 0% interest for 5 years on all the top brands. Imagine owning a $15,000 luxury watch for just $250 a month. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct, where you can shop direct for diamonds and watches.
Welcome to the greatest show on turf at Great Lakes Kia.
I'm pretty sure that's just tile.
And you can feel the excitement in the air. Brand new Kias under $5 a day.
I'm Bart Zimmerman, General Manager at Great Lakes Kia.
Bart's coming up big. Lease new 24 Kia Forte LXS, EV Wind, and Sorrento LX.
Under $5 a day. $5.
Oh, and the fan favorite, new 24 Kia Telluride LX, under $8 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
Even new 24 Kia Carnival LXS, under $9 a day.
There's a flag on the play. It looks like credit interference.
No problem. Get approved with 1.9% financing.
Take the winning drive to Great Lakes Kia.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus,
GreatLakesKia.com.
Visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app, or listen at home on your smart speaker, or open up the iHeartRadio app, or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the dopes at The Fan.
Attention Ohio pizza restaurant owners. Tired of glitchy point-of-sale systems slowing you down? Meet Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. With reliable hardware, an easy-to-use system, and 24/7 customer support, Hunger Rush speeds up your operations and boosts repeat orders by up to 10%. This is the restaurant point-of-sale built for pizza. Easily manage your drivers, easily take orders online, easily train your staff in minutes, and easily make modifications. Need to talk to a real person? That's easy too. Top Ohio pizzerias are winning with Hunger Rush. Solutions to help you streamline service, optimize workflows, and maximize profits. Join the thousands of successful restaurants transforming their operations with Hunger Rush for $0 down and $0 a month. Tools for menu management, marketing, customer engagement, and increased upsells, all in one simple platform. That's Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. Schedule your free no-obligation demo at ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Whenever someone works on my home, I want it to be a company I can trust, that has a long-standing reputation, that you can stand behind their work, that you can build a relationship with. Well, that company for my roof, well, it was Newman Roofing. They have created a culture centered around creating an excellent customer experience for each project they are trusted with. They are committed to delivering a quality product every time, as they view each customer as a Central Ohio neighbor. At Newman Roofing, their commitment to you doesn't just end when the job is done. They're there to support you for the life of your roof, and you know you can trust them because of the longevity of their company, and they're family owned. With their lifetime workmanship warranty, you feel confident that the decision to invest in your roof with Newman is going to be protected by a company that's been in business since 1992, and they're going to be around for generations more to come. So when you're looking for a repair or a full roof replacement, call the family company you can trust. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. 614-NEW-ROOF at newmanroofing.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of clouds around, a couple light showers on your Sunday. Temperatures only in the low 70s. Overnight down to the mid-60s. A few more leftover showers and some patchy fog. Late day scattered showers on Monday with high temperatures in the mid-70s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Big Childs under center again. Foster motioning in from the left side, and now pressure coming as Childs will fling that pass. Intercepted by Ohio State's Denzel Burke. Up the right side, he comes with blockers to the 20, to the 15, and forced out of bounds by Carter at the 15 as Denzel Burke comes up with his second interception of the season, the fourth of his career, and the Buckeyes once again take the ball away from the Spartans, and they've got a short field.
That was Denzel Burke with a big interception. I thought for a second there he was going to take that to the house on that one. I did too. One of the criticisms of this defense coming into this year, big plays, sacks and turnovers. We're seeing a little more of that this year, especially with the turnovers. We talked about this defense, Devier. I feel it plays better when they are being aggressive and they are forcing more turnovers this year, and that's good to see.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, can we make big plays? Any championship that's won, you got to have a championship defense, and your defense has to make plays when it's their time. You think about that 2021 LSU team or 2019 LSU team, ballers all around. Grant Delpit, right? Patrick Queen, those guys were making big plays. Who else am I missing?
I was just saying we don't think about the defense on that team because they were so loaded on offense. But that was a stacked defensive team too.
They had pros on that defense, and then you think about even Michigan last year. Mason Graham, Will Johnson, Mike Sandersill is out there on Thursday nights against the Bengals making big plays. And it's just like you have to have a defense that turns the ball over, that answers calls, that sometimes your offense might go 3 and out with under 1 minute. You're watching Alabama last night. Your defense has to win games. Like, you have to be comfortable as a coach saying, I want to put my defense out there to go in this crap. And great teams need to have that. This Ohio State team has guys who can get their hand on the ball, whether it's causing fumbles, guys that can create a physical presence, whether it's coming down, making a big hit, whether it's, just getting hits on the quarterback, legal hits. This team can get sacks. We can cover guys. And it's not a bend, not break mentality, but it's just like, okay, where can we find space to be aggressive and to make a play on the ball? And I think Coach Knowles and these guys are figuring it out. And, it's just I thought Cody had a pick yesterday, but he wasn't able to hold on to it. There's plays to be made, and these guys are making them.
Through 4 games, 3 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries for this Ohio State defense.
Only 21 points scored. What is it, 24 points scored?
Yeah, and it's not a lot. So, this defense is doing their job. Last night, though, we nitpick, right? That's what we do because we expect perfection. We think this team is possibly the best in the country. It could win a national championship. And the defense,
they're just untested. They're just untested. That's the only thing that makes me. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Beck, but that's like you look at Texas, you look at Bama, you look at Georgia. You look at Ole Miss, you look at all these teams that are up there, Big. They've all had an early test, and it's just like making me uneasy.
Well, the next 2 weeks, we may get that. We may find out. Ryan Day was asked about some perceived possible first half defensive issues. Here's his answer.
Yeah, when you look at the sum total of it all, 50 plays and 246 yards and 7 points, you come away and you say, geez, well, what a great performance. And certainly I thought we did a really good job of shutting them down, especially in the second half. But there's some things we got to look at in the film and figure out, kind of early on, like you said, some explosive plays in there that we got to clean up. I think that we were watching the film at halftime. We were close to getting to the quarterback with a couple things. We just needed to hang on coverage just a tick longer. But listen, they're a good team and they're well coached, and They have good players too, but I thought we responded and made the changes appropriate, and game adjustments were solid.
And again, I could be wrong. I think they respected Aiden Child's ability to make plays so much last night, especially in that first half, that they kind of backed off a little bit. And I think, as Ryan Day said, they made the adjustments. They took care of that. It was much better in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the adjustments that Coach Knowles made. And I think, we talked about it last segment. He was so aggressive in his first year that it kind of maybe distorted his view of, hey, I might not have those players. Coach knows you got those players. And when these guys are aggressive and when they're coming downhill and when they can kind of make their presence felt, they play better. So, and what Day is saying is like, yeah, it might have felt like you look at the numbers and you're like, well, dang, yeah, we played great. And then you turn on the film and there's a lot of things that we could fix, a lot of things with the better playmakers, better quarterbacks, better wide receivers, better running backs when we play against better teams that could definitely expose us as we go throughout the season. So we got to fix those things. But you turn on that film the second half, that third quarter, that's who we are defensively.
When you go on the road, and we just talked about turnovers, how important those are. When you go on the road, that's even more important. When you win the turnover battle, a lot of times you're going to win games. Here's Ryan Day talking about that.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, the turnover battle was huge in this game. And, if we don't get those turnovers, maybe it's a different game for sure. But that's the game, and we got to make sure we're winning the situations. So we'll take a look at the film and figure out where it's at. But I thought the atmosphere was excellent early on. I thought they came out and played really, really hard. I think again Jonathan's doing a really good job of putting his culture into and his thumbprint on the program here. You can see it going, and got a lot of respect for him and his staff, but I thought our guys responded well and had some really good poise. That was something that we talked about coming into the game, is having poise in the noise. Getting down in there. Some of those fourth down conversions are pretty clutch.
I've seen it a lot in football this year so far. Guys just coming in, and we saw it for a while, but it seems like it's coming back. Guys just coming in and punching that ball out and seeing, I believe it was Lathan Ransom do that last night. You love to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, on both sides, I thought Turner on their side had a big game. I think he's going to be a pro. But, yeah, creating turnovers on defense is something that, hey, like in these Big Ten battles, and by all means, last night was a Big Ten battle. I think Caleb Downs got to feel what makes the Big Ten special. It's physical. It's a pro-style game. I think Jeremiah Smith got to feel that. All of our transfers were like, hey, like, this is what the Big Ten is all about, and creating turnovers in tight games like that, creating turnovers when it's a chess match, and you're being smart about field position, and just the timeliness of them, like where those teams were. They were in striking distance, so couldn't have came at a better time. Couldn't have came, even more helpful to the offense to get us back rolling. So, man, Bake, I was very satisfied with the type of game that it was and the type of like gritty win that we had to have, because like you need gritty wins. I mean, it's football, man. It's not pretty.
No, it's not. And this team is proving they can do pretty things, but they can do the tough grunt work, the dirty things as well. Adam King, he was there last night in East Lansing. We'll get his perspective coming up next. It's Ryan Baker, Devier Posey, Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
If your idea of the perfect radio show is all Buckeyes all the time, then it's your lucky day, Slappy, the Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the Sportsbook, the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino. Yes, they've changed the name.
It is better than ever, but they're still going to have your favorite teams on the biggest screens. You can place your bets, grab some wings and an ice-cold pint, and even hang out with us.
We're going to be there broadcasting live from 3 to 6, Friday, September 27th. And we've got tickets to give away, so come and be with us and hug us.
Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
APCO, windows, siding, and decks. Business First says we're the largest remodeler in town. Our philosophy is simple. We don't rely on sales gimmicks to get our customers. We rely on our reputation.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
What would you do with $3,000 a month, no strings attached?
All kinds of stuff.
Buy a monkey?
That's a dream pet right there.
Build a super suit?
Let's go!
Woo! Meet the Hoagie Brothers in Universal Basic Guys, a new animated comedy.
We're really making a difference in the community. Feels good, huh?
Hell yeah.
Catch the premiere of Fox Animation Domination tonight on Fox.
Tonight, starting at 7 on Fox 28.
With so much happening every day,
ABC6 News is on your side, helping you understand the events that impact your community.
Do you believe Columbus City Schools is in a PR crisis?
Central Ohio's most experienced team of reporters, persistent in getting answers to the questions you're asking.
Are you worried about how people are going to react?
And when you need us, ABC6 News is on your side, finding solutions.
6 on your side, they're the ones willing to answer the phone.
You can count on ABC6 News to be on your side.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. The people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners, with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
You were charging your phone? I waited hours for you.
That's how long it takes.
Join Metro and get a free Motorola Edge that'll charge for the day in 15 minutes. At Metro, there's no activation fees. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Bring your number ID and sign up for Metro Flex Plus plan. Offer not available if at T-Mobile or have been with Metro in the past 180 days. Requires 68-watt charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I cannot imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Welcome back in, Fan Sports Sunday. Ryan Baker, Devier Posey, and I mean, it's okay if you're a little drunk after a night game, right? I mean, you got a little bit of a big Buckeye win hangover, right?
Oh, no, not me. I'm good. But to our listeners, drive safe, please.
Absolutely.
Get some water, get an IV, liquid IV. It's my choice when I'm dehydrated.
Hit the Uber and the Lyft, right? If you've celebrated a big Buckeye win too much. Adam King, he was there last night up in East Lansing. Speaking of driving, he is on his way back from East Lansing now, and he joins us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Adam, you were there live and in person last night. What was your biggest takeaway from Ohio State's 38-7 win over Michigan State?
Well,
Well, hello. First off, my biggest takeaway is I think that Devier Posey just did a liquid IV plug right there. I don't know.
No,
kickback for that. My biggest takeaway is that Ohio State won a Big Ten game 38-7, and yet they're probably not happy, and I think that says a lot about this team. They faced some adversity for the first time. We've been using that word a lot, and I think it was a good thing. I think it showed what this team can do. Devier, the first thing we did when we got in the car in East Lansing, we put on the 97.1 app. We heard the show earlier. We heard a little Scotty Vegas, and now listening to you, and I think you're right, Devier. These guys want to face a challenge. They did, and they answered it remarkably.
Absolutely. And so when you face challenges, you really get to see your best, right? Like when your back's against the wall, you get to see your best players show up. And I thought that number 2 on defense showed us all his light and all his glory in terms of form tackling, physicality, being a missile. What was it like to see Caleb Downs have his coming out party live, Adam?
Well, I got up on a soapbox last night on Wall to Wall Sports about Caleb Downs because there have been people that have said to me, he's overrated. He's not worth it. We don't see what he's doing. And I say he's a safety. If Caleb Downs is in on every single play, we've got a problem.
We got problems.
Yeah, he's a safety. And the fact that you don't hear his name called tells you the Buckeyes are in a good spot. And yesterday he said, you know what? All right, I'll come up to the line and make my plays. And form tackling doesn't get all the glory as interceptions and forced fumbles and sacks.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, is it pretty to watch him make plays on defense. I mean, he open field tackles like no player I can remember. One-on-one battles, he's winning them 10 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just put on that film for any high school in the country and say, this is how you play football.
Amen.
Adam, speaking of the defense there, early on in the game, it seemed like they were kind of playing back a little bit, really respecting the ability of Aiden Childs and what he could do as a playmaker as it went on. And it seemed like Caleb Downs kind of dragged them into that a little more aggressive. What did you think of the start on defense and the adjustments that Jim Knowles made?
Well, it's funny. Yesterday on the pregame show, I said scripted plays I don't let affect my decision-making on defense too much, and yet again, it seemed like Michigan State came out with a good game script. It's once you get off script, once you get those first 10 or 15 plays out of there, that Ohio State's defense seems to settle in. Listen, they had some problems over the middle. They let some big passes go because the secondary was playing off a little bit. With that, they settled in. I think the biggest thing you want to see in a football game is adjustments. If you're a coach and you have a problem, you want to make sure your team can fix it. This is 2 straight games where we saw Ohio State have a problem in the first half and in the second half come out and answer every single one with flying colors. And not to mention, I mean, listen, there were issues last night, and yet somehow they only gave up 7 points. The bend but not break mentality, I think that was it on full display. Turnovers are helpful, and as Ryan said, it could have been a different ball game. It wasn't, because the Buckeyes found a way to get off the field, and at the end of the day, that's the name of the game.
Adam, I want to get your take on Will Howard's performance on the road. Obviously, it's his first Big Ten game on the road, first time facing this kind of physicality that he faced in the Big Ten. I thought number 7 Turner from Michigan State was out there trying to get drafted off the Ohio State game. He played against some pressure. Thought he took a good shot to the gut and still was able to deliver the ball, although it wasn't there. But that shows me that he's willing to do it. What do you think about his overall performance in his first on-the-road Big Ten game?
I thought Will Howard made his biggest play as a Buckeye so far, and it came the play after throwing into double coverage for an interception.
Mm-hmm.
I saw somebody put out on Twitter, can't remember who it was, that, you might be seeing ghosts, and that's the thing you see with quarterbacks. You throw into double coverage, and then you worry, oh, no, how's he going to shake this off? Will did it remarkably. And I asked him after the game, I said, what was the conversation? He said there wasn't one. I made a mistake. I told the guys I made a mistake. We went out there and played football. His next throw was 20 yards downfield, spot on. That's what you want to see as a Buckeye fan. That's what you want to see as Ryan Day, is a quarterback that comes out on the very next play and forgets about what happened. You could circle the interception as a play that I'm sure he'll watch over and over on film.
Yeah.
But everything else, he looked really good. He looked in command of that offense. And hey, Devier, you got your keeper on the RPO there.
Yeah, we scored a tutty.
They needed it. They needed it, and they scored. There you go.
Me and Maddie were talking about that's the last Thanos Infinity Stone, is having Will as a runner with this offense, right? We got the rushers, we got the offensive line, we got the playmakers, and if we can get Will turning over those wheels a little bit in the red zone, boom. You can just snap your fingers at them.
Snap your fingers, and next thing you know, it's 38-7 in a Big Ten game.
Speaking with Adam King of 10 TV on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Adam, we're going to talk more about Jeremiah Smith next, but it's rare in a game when you go up and you make an incredible one-handed catch, and then you overshadow that by making another one and scoring a touchdown. What was it like seeing Jeremiah last night and his performance in person, and what was the reaction of the crowd at East Lansing?
I think it as an away team, obviously, you're not going to get a lot of cheers when you make ridiculous plays. But there was a lot of oohs and ahs. And whether Michigan State was happy or not, I think the fans knew, we're watching greatness, or as you just used the perfect word, rare. Mm-hmm. We're watching a rarity, unlike anything you see in college football. I thought it was interesting. A lot of the times you want to tamper down expectations with someone. You want to make sure that, you're not overplaying who this guy can be. I don't think Jeremiah Smith wants that. Jeremiah Smith wants to be the best receiver that has ever played in college football history. You cannot set higher standards than that. And he's working every day to do that. He's on quite the path already. And that's, in order to be even considered in that conversation, you have to be in the rarest form. And that's what we saw last night. And I think that's what we'll continue to see.
Yeah, Adam, I wanted to bring this up too, because obviously Jeremiah Smith gets a lot of love. But I'm watching the game and I'm seeing these key blocks on these spring runs. I'm seeing Emeka Egbuka coming down and hitting a Mike linebacker in the hole, clearing out, a running hole for a running back. I'm seeing him being physical, taking a DB all the way to the ground. I'm seeing him make tough catches, maybe not the one-handers or the running for the tutties, like Jeremiah Smith is doing. But I see a guy who's a leader in his fourth year, taking out the trash with a smile on his face. And I'm wondering to myself, how much would this team in this offense struggle if they didn't have a guy like Emeka Egbuka? You can even just look at the numbers. You just say he went to the NFL, you take all his numbers out. You just would have Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, Ryan and Noah Rodgers. What is Emeka Egbuka's unsung hero's impact on this offense, and how are you looking at the way he's performing?
Well, I think you're spot on there. I think Emeka Egbuka, just as much as he makes plays and just as much as he scores touchdowns, behind the scenes, he is everything to this team. And there are so many guys like that. I mean, look at Trey last night in his blocking. Yes, his blocking's not going to be in the stat sheet. His blocking's not going to get him to New York. But that's what this team was when they decided to come back. They were a group of guys. They didn't come back to all up their draft stock. They all could have gone to the pros and done just fine and made a lot of money. But they came back because they want to win, and they're doing everything they can to make sure they win. And Emeka Egbuka is an unquestioned leader on this team. He's undoubtedly a reason that Jeremiah Smith is having as good of a year as he is so far. One, he's drawing eyes away from, you still walk on the field. Yes, you know where 4 is, but then you know where 2 is. And so with that, he is as impactful on every play that he's not catching the ball.
He is Adam King of 10 TV, giving us a little perspective on what it was like to be in East Lansing last night for the Buckeyes' 38-7 win over Michigan State. Adam, thanks for giving us a little bit of your time. Safe travels on the way home.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys.
Adam joined us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We talked a little bit about Jeremiah Smith there, Devier. He is living up to the hype, and then some. We will get a little more reaction on the game he had last night coming up next. It's Fan Sports Sunday, on the Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon, even if this promo is playing in the morning. No judgment.
Ah, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just a slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Trust and Will knows that this fall, you're likely celebrating a birthday, your own, a loved one's, or even welcoming a new addition, because fall is the most popular birthday season in America, and Trust and Will celebrates milestones by protecting what matters most. Trust and Will makes estate planning easy and affordable, with step-by-step guidance designed by attorneys but customized by you. All documents are state-specific, legally valid, and secure. Plus, Trust and Will has thousands of 5-star reviews and a rating of excellent on Trustpilot. So join the hundreds of thousands of families in celebrating and securing your future with Trust and Will. Visit trustandwill.com now with offer code Columbus for 10% off your plan. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trustandwill.com. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney. Documents are not valid until formally executed in accordance with applicable law.
I didn't expect to, but I need to get a new health insurance plan. The good news is I found Health Markets. I went to healthmarkets.com and saw plans available in my area. They have access to more than 200 carriers across the country. And if you need help, you can just speak with a licensed insurance agent. It's all right there for you.
Discover the advantages of real personalized service today at healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Paid actor per trail.
Football season is here, and we have so much stuff. One station isn't enough. Find even more Pigskin on ESPN Columbus.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2, or listen on the Fan app.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival returns for its biggest year yet. For the first time with Metallica. 2 nights, 2 different set lists, no repeat weekend. Plus exclusive Metallica experiences. With Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, and over 100 more bands to be announced. 4 days, May 8th to the 11th at historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. Select passes on sale now at SonicTempleFestival.com.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. The fall deals at Germain Honda of Dublin are beautiful. The 24 Civic LX, only $249 a month for 36 months. The 24 Accord LX, only $279 a month for 36 months. With 10,000 miles a year on the lease, $34.99 cash cap reduction, payments plus tax, tag, and document fee, and away you go. How about 0.9% up to 36 months on the 24 Prologue, the first all-electric SUV from Honda. For the best deal in town, Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road.
Giant Eagle is making it easy to surround yourself with the sound of freshness, the sound of sizzle, The sound of savings. With new low prices on hundreds of your favorite produce items. Deals for days on over 1,000 items throughout the store. Plus weekly sales and My Perks for even more savings at the pump. Surround yourself with savings every time you shop. At your neighborhood Giant Eagle. Visit gianteagle.com for details.
Saturday is game day on the Fan.
Sponsored by Riker Ford.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
3rd and 10, Ohio State at the Spartan 17. Now Scott motions to the right. Devin Brown gets set, gets the snap, pressure coming. Devin Brown looks, throws right side, one hit, into the end zone. Another one, touchdown on a 17-yard play. Jeremiah Smith reached up with one hand and snatched it. Devin Brown was almost about to be lowered, and the Buckeyes get a touchdown. Devin Brown to Jeremiah Smith, 23-7 Ohio State.
Two greats right there. Paul Keels calling the one-handed grab touchdown of Jeremiah Smith. That, of course, courtesy of the Ohio State Radio Network on Learfield. Real quick, we were talking about this on the break, Devier. Before we get into Jeremiah Smith and how great he is, talk a little bit about that play last night on that touchdown catch. And that was a pretty nice throw by Devin Brown.
Yeah, you got cover two, and when you're in cover two and you see, I think number 43, I can't remember his last name, but he was playing very physical into the middle of the field. And what I'm saying by that is he's not covering to the sideline. The DB's job in cover two is to get a jam on the wide receiver and force him to have an outside release. Jeremiah Smith got jammed a little bit on that play, outside release. I thought Devin Brown, maybe they had been talking about that. As far as, hey, like 43 is not getting off the hash, let's hit him, because Jeremiah Smith went up and caught a one-hander contested catch before that from Will. Maybe Devin Brown kind of remembered, those conversations on the sideline. He was like, hey, I'm immediately going to this cover two hole throw right here. He put the ball on a nice rope, got it over the DB's head, and it wasn't like a ball where you have to let it go over your shoulders. It was a B ball, right? It was just two ball. So it had some zip on it, and he was able to just put it right on the outside where only Jeremiah can go get it. And you talk about the pluck there. You just plucked it out of the air. You got, one has to believe that dude is walking around with a 4X glove right now, or maybe a 5X glove.
It didn't even move. It just
didn't
stuck.
even move. It was just and it was just to finish that run and to show some emotion after that play. It was hands down. I didn't even say anything because nothing had to be said on my couch. I didn't even cheer. I just was like, damn, he's nice. That's all I could say.
I love you talk about the emotion that he showed, because we're going to play some sound from Ryan Day here in a minute where he talks about Jeremiah's personality starting to come out a little more. Here was Ryan with Paul and Jim immediately after the game talking about how he thought that play really sparked them for the second half.
It was one heck of a play. We talk a lot about the middle eight, and I thought we really, did a great job in the middle eight there to get, those scores right there and then come out, and play well coming out of the halftime. That to me, and that section right there of the end of the second quarter and the beginning of the third quarter, that was where the whole game turned. But give Devin credit. He came in and made the throw, and Jeremiah made one heck of a catch.
When you get plays like that, Devier, great plays, how much can that really turn the momentum and really spark your team?
No, you need plays like that. You need plays like that on the road. And you're almost on the sideline kind of saying that to your teammates and saying that to yourself. It's like, man, we just need a big play. We need a big play. I thought and more specifically, a big play in the passing game, right? I thought our running backs were doing a great job of running the ball, getting explosive runs. I think we had a 3rd and 20 after a offsides by Gee Scott. Trevion exploded, right, and picked up 35 or 37 yards. So we were by all means doing what we needed to do in the run game, and obviously Will did some stuff on the ground, but still our pass game was a bit stagnant there. And just when you have Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka being able to make those plays for you, it cracked the game open for sure.
Here's Ryan Day talking about just JJ as a whole so far through his college career.
His work ethic. He does it every day in practice. I mean, he just doesn't say a word, but works his tail off. His discipline, his humility. He loves being a Buckeye. You can tell just with the way he works with his teammates. And he's coming out of his shell a little bit too, which is great to see. But, I mean, the talent speaks for itself. I just am impressed with the discipline and the hard work and being able to step in at such a young age. The only way you do that is if you go in and put the work in. And he came in with that work ethic. Brian's certainly taken it from there, but this is a special young man.
They're obviously always going to be compared because they're at the same school and they followed each other. But when I hear coaches, players, people talk about Jeremiah Smith, I hear a lot of the same things you heard about Marvin Harrison. Now, Marvin Harrison, when he was a freshman, you just heard people talking about what he did in practice and after practice. Obviously, we're seeing Jeremiah in the game, but you're talking about the discipline, the humility, and the work ethic, how they really want to be the best, and they're putting that time and effort in. And when you pair that with obviously the God-given ability that these guys have, that makes these players unstoppable.
Yeah, and I think just over the years, like, to me, like, wide receivers are like wine, right? There's so many different types. You got cabs, you got white wines, you got dark reds, you got Chardonnay. There's so many different types of wines, and there's so many different types of wide receivers. Like, for me, like Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, they were like a Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Chad Ochocinco type of wide receiver, 6 foot, 6'2", can run every route, long speed, jumping ability. They catch their 50 balls. You got JSN, he's a slot type of Santana Moss, Wes Welker mix. And then you have guys like Noah Brown who are just going to get it done, guys like Mike Thomas. But, like, in terms of, like, Marvin Harrison and Jeremiah Smith, those are, like, the Andre Johnsons, Larry Fitzgerald, Calvin Johnson types of receivers. And just in Ohio State's history, we've only had maybe 2 of those guys. And for me, that's probably Mike Jenkins and David Boston. Like that, over 6'3", super physical, can run every route, can line them up in the slot, like, and they're true number ones in the NFL. And I think it's just so great to see us having those big body Megatron, Larry Fitzgerald, Andre Johnson types of guys in Marvin and Jeremiah. And it's a total different type of greatness. Like those guys with like Amari Cooper, Chad Johnson, those Garrett Wilsons and Chris Olaves and JSNs, they're going to win and they're going to do well in the league. But like those guys kind of fit into, like, I wouldn't say like true number ones, like 10 to 15 years type of number one, but like Marvin Harrison and Jeremiah Smith give you the vibes that they can go to the league and like give you numbers and reps like Calvin Dre and Larry, right?
There's no doubt.
I know I went deep there.
There's no doubt that what we have witnessed the past few years and what we are witnessing at Ohio State with the wide receiver position is something special. And I hope that everybody just enjoys the time that we have here with Jeremiah Smith, because it's going to go fast. There was a classic, Devier, in Tuscaloosa last night. We will talk about Alabama's win over Georgia and some other college football coming up next. Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
Common Man has spent the past 18 years telling you how much he hates people. And yes, that probably means you, too. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
You were charging your phone? I waited hours for you.
That's how long it takes.
Join Metro and get a free Motorola Edge that'll charge for the day in 15 minutes. At Metro, there's no activation fees. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number ID and sign up for Metro Flex Plus plan. Offer not available if at T-Mobile or have been with Metro in the past 180 days. Requires 68-watt charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary.
Hi, Hi, this is Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. As a local family-owned business, we understand the importance of celebrating the ones we love. Stop in to find the perfect gift or check us out online at worthingtonjewelers.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Navigating mental health insurance benefits can be overwhelming, but you don't have to do it alone. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to guide you. Our expert team will help you connect with your health insurance plan to understand available behavioral health benefits. Say goodbye to frustration and hello to control over your mental well-being. Call 855-438-6442 today.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. When it comes to being a Newman Roofing customer, you can trust they're always going to put your needs first. They're going to give you the white glove treatment so you feel confident you're making the best decision. So don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan.
Good afternoon. I'm Cam Taylor. The Ohio State Buckeyes opened conference play yesterday with a 38-7 win on the road at Michigan State. Will Howard went 21 of 31 for 244 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. True freshman Jeremiah Smith finished the day with 5 catches for 83 yards, a touchdown, and a 19-yard touchdown on the ground. The Buckeyes will next face Iowa at home next Saturday at 3:30. The Georgia-Alabama game last night lived up to the hype and expectation with a crazy fourth quarter where each team traded touchdowns in the final few minutes. 17-year-old true freshman Ryan Williams scored a 75-yard game-winning touchdown to give the Tide a 41-34 victory. The Cincinnati Bengals are on the road to face the Carolina Panthers at 1 p.m. The Pittsburgh Steelers face the Indianapolis Colts at 1 p.m. And the Cleveland Browns are in Las Vegas to face the Raiders at 4:25 with pregame coverage starting on The Fan at 2:30.
Sports Talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Yes, you are. It is Fan Sports Sunday. Ryan Baker in for Jeff Tito Thidoff, who is living it up out in Vegas this weekend. My man Devier Posey, the great 8, sitting to the right of me. You heard Cam Taylor on the update as well. He's on the other side of the glass running things. Glad to have you along on this final weekend of September. Devier, it's kind of hard to believe that we're already through September. We're through 5 weeks of the college football season. We're hitting week 4 of the NFL slate. We're over halfway through the high school football season. And Devier, you were there Friday night as London beat Bellefontaine, but it was pretty cool to see Tavion St. Clair, maybe the future of Ohio State at the quarterback position, spin it on Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was a bit upset because obviously the weather and the wind really played a factor into their offensive game plan. But you know a guy by warm-ups. You know a guy by the way they carry themselves.
You can just see it.
You can see it in the way that he carries himself, the balls that he can throw. I mean, he's about 6'4" in pads. He's not wiry. He's pretty solid. He plays the game on his tippy toes, as I would call it. Like real ballers play the game on their tippy toes. I'll be honest. I don't think he hit the ground one time in the game. He was kind of nursing a knee injury, and Coach Gary Kubiak would always say, "Real pros stay on their feet." And I thought even in the wet rain, getting 5, 7-step drops, 3-step drops, he kept his footing. Every ball was on point. I almost feel like if he was throwing to like Ohio State receivers and not high school receivers, those plays would be really big. And by all means, man, like I just truly believe, I know we got Sam, I know we got Devin Brown. It's going to be very hard for the number one quarterback in America not to play as a freshman or not to play as a sophomore. I don't care about what anybody else is say. Like I know what my eyes saw, and him being an Ohio guy, him being a small town hero, community guy, great guy, is just the makings of a star. And you can't deny Ohio national talent at Ohio State. He's going to play, and I can already see people walking around Ohio Stadium on future Saturdays with St. Clair on the back of their jerseys.
It's exciting to think about, obviously the talent that's here on this Buckeye team now, but the talent that's coming into the future with him. A guy we were talking about on break, Chris Henry Jr., a guy that's coming here as well. It's exciting to think about the talent. You talked about what we see with our eyes. What we saw with our eyes last night was another great game in Tuscaloosa, a wild game. Alabama beats Georgia 31-34 last night. Devier, Alabama jumped out to a 27-0 lead in this one. Then Georgia comes back with 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to take a 34-33 lead, and then immediately Ryan Williams goes for 75 yards and Alabama gets the win. What a wild game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you saw the heights of Jalen Milroe's ability, his running ability, his passing. He looks like just a step above any quarterback athletic-wise in America. And then you see the lows of Carson Beck's game, but also how good he can be, right? Like his first half, he was kind of like we were saying, seeing ghosts. The pressure was getting to him. His receivers weren't making plays. I thought the Alabama's DBs probably had their season high in terms of PBUs. Didn't make some great throws, but in the second half, he looked like the Carson Beck that we were all familiar with. He looked like the Carson Beck on the road in Tuscaloosa. Like, hey, he went and snatched the lead back. And then, our guy Ryan Williams, another freshman wide receiver, he kind of showed how great he's going to be and how great he already is. So that game was really good. I thought in terms of other games that I really enjoyed this weekend, Bake, I really enjoyed the Wisconsin-USC game. I thought that was a nice Big Ten battle. Really liked what I saw from Wisconsin, but obviously USC was able to edge them out. Miami, Florida had a banger. The Hurricanes, I thought Cam Ward and company pulled that one out. Our guy, Coach Stoops, another Ohio guy, he gets the upset versus Lane Kiffin and the Rebels in the SIP on the road. Big game.
I want to talk about that one real quick before we get back into the Alabama game here in a second. Brock Vandergrift, he was a highly recruited quarterback going to Georgia. It didn't work out there. He's gone to Kentucky. I really liked what I saw from him in that game. You talk about a gritty performance. I thought he was gritty. Vince Morrow, one of their assistant coaches there, He does a bang-up job coming into Central Ohio and getting recruits. A kid that you've seen this year, Preston Bowman, is committed to there, a highly ranked receiver from Pickerington, North. Kentucky is doing a good job coming into Ohio and getting good players.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, I think I heard the announcer say that out of all the schools in America, most people's enrollment is down. Kentucky's enrollment is up over the last couple of years, and you're also starting to see on their recruiting side that they're getting a lot more higher ranked recruits, right? And they're getting a lot more Ohio guys to come play in the SEC. And they can play with anybody. I mean, they gave Georgia a game. They went and beat the number 6 team in the country. And Kentucky is normally you would have that game circle like, hey, this is a must win. But no, it's a dogfight. Vandergriff and the Cats are playing well right now.
I want to go back to this Alabama-Georgia game for a second. Carson Beck, you talked about it. His numbers are staggering from last night. 439 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Obviously, they come back with those 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. He made some throws last night that just looked really bad.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Milroe on the other side, the game for him, 27 of 33, 374, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He also gets it done with his legs, rushing for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. I saw a lot of concerning things from Carson Beck in that game last night. Jalen Milroe looks like under Kalen DeBoer, he has become a whole different player. Now, I've been a believer in Alabama all year because I think DeBoer's a good coach, and I know that Milroe is I thought Milroe was a good returning experienced college quarterback. He seems like he might be a great college quarterback right now.
Yeah, I mean, you think about what Coach DeBoer and his offense was able to do with Michael Penix and Rome Odunze and Jalen Polk, but you take the same offense and you insert Jalen Milroe, which I think might have a little bit more physical talent running and just has about just as strong as arm as Penix, right? Then you put Ryan Williams in a Rome Odunze spot, who is an explosive wide receiver. I can't remember number 5's name. He makes big plays too. You put him in Jalen Polk's spot. This offense that DeBoer is running, to me, looks better in crimson and white than it did in purple and gold. And it's just like they have they can do more things, Bake, because Penix wasn't a runner. Like, Jalen Milroe is a scary runner. And if you listen to Kurt Herbstreit and Chris Fowler talk during the game, they're saying this guy is beating the wide receivers and running backs in sprints. He's the fastest guy on the team. And it's scary. It's scary. I mean, Georgia did a good job of controlling the edges and really containing them in the second half. But, man, you have to prepare for his threat as a runner.
Ryan Williams, this kid's only 17. 6 catches, 177 yards last night. That 75-yard touchdown. For him, and I don't know what that Georgia defender was doing. He kind of took a weird step route there.
He couldn't do anything.
But Ryan Williams just pulled away from him. His speed, his acceleration is something different. I asked this question to Dave and Scotty and On the Money. Right now, for the future, you could take Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams, or you could take Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors. Which pair are you going with?
I'm going to go with
It's difficult, isn't it?
That's tough, man. That's tough, but I just like what we can all do with the younger group, right? I mean, just they are guys out there that play wide receivers who are just more physically imposing than people, right? They're just bigger, stronger, faster. But Ryan Williams has, like, his ability is his fluidity and his just pure hands of just being able to catch the ball. He's a scary player, man, just because he reminds you a lot of, like, Amari Cooper in a way, right? Like how good Amari Cooper was his freshman year.
So clean, so crisp.
Clean, crisp. But he's also has some Devontae Smith in his game, right? And in terms of length, and just one of those things, man, where I don't know who I would take. That's tough. You mean to tell me I'm not going to take Malik Neighbors and Mark?
Two guys that are doing it in the NFL right now.
It's crazy that I'm even considering it.
It is. It's a crazy question. Hey, speaking of the NFL, the Bengals, they are off to a little bit of a rough start. Maybe they can right the ship today when they take on the Carolina Panthers at 1. We will talk a little Bengals football coming up next. It's Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Your local Rite Aid might be closing, but don't worry. It's easy to transfer your prescriptions with GoodRx. First, check prices at GoodRx.com or on our app. Then show your coupon to the pharmacist. It's that simple. GoodRx can save you up to 80% on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, GoodRx is free, and it works whether you have insurance or not. Download the app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
When you travel, they always say, get a room with a view. And there's no better way to travel than with family. Like the Toyota Truck family. Now through September 30th, get $2,000 customer cash on a new 24 Tundra, depending on model. Or lease a Tacoma SR Double Cab for $319 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details. Or go to Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. The fall deals at Germain Honda of Dublin are beautiful. The 24 Civic LX, only $249 a month for 36 months. The 24 Accord LX, only $279 a month for 36 months. With 10,000 miles a year on the lease, $34.99 cash cap reduction, payments plus tax, tag, and document fee, and away you go. How about 0.9% up to 36 months on the 24 Prologue, the first all-electric SUV from Honda. For the best deal in town, Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand. Listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just a slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
At APCO Windows, there's no 35% off sales, no buy one, get one free, just our best bottom line price. So get multiple estimates. Just make sure one is from APCO.
Absolutely, absolutely, you can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
Hi, this is Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. As a local family-owned business, we understand the importance of celebrating the ones we love. Stop in to find the perfect gift or check us out online at worthingtonjewelers.com.
Common Common Man and T-Bone here for the Sportsbook, the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino. Yes, they've changed the name.
It is better than ever, but they're still going to have your favorite teams on the biggest screens. You can place your bets, grab some wings and an ice-cold pint, and even hang out with us.
We're going to be there broadcasting live from 3 to 6, Friday, September 27th. And we've got tickets to give away, so come and be with us and hug us.
Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies and a couple scattered showers on this Sunday. Temperatures struggling, only getting into the low 70s this afternoon. Down to the mid-60s overnight, starting off your work and school week. A couple light showers possible early on Monday. A few more scattered showers Monday afternoon. High temperatures in the mid-70s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Your go-to destination for Buckeye football talk all year round. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Ryan Baker here, former Buckeye, Devier Posey. It is Fan Sports Sunday. Glad to have you along as you are getting ready for your NFL Sunday, kicking off here in just about 40 minutes from now. We haven't talked much NFL yet, Devier, so we're going to go ahead and switch gears and get into some of that today. Right now, the Cincinnati Bengals, Devier. What a rough start for them. An 0-3 start, and it's not like they're getting blown out. No, maybe a couple of the teams they've lost to, you're like, wait a second, what are we losing to those teams? But they've lost by 6 points, by 1 point to the Chiefs, and then by 5 points. So a total of 12 points so far here in their 0-3. They take on the Carolina Panthers today. Their former quarterback, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, starting against them. Is it time to panic down in Cincinnati at 0-3?
No. I mean, when you think about it, they have one loss to an AFC team, or is it two loss to an AFC team? I kept trying to think of the third team.
Patriots and the
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yeah, right. So opener to the Patriots and the Chiefs. But in terms of like AFC North losses, they have 0. So it's not time to panic. It's time to focus in. It's time to lock in. It's time to maybe get some routes after practice. It's time to kind of time some things up, maybe do a few extra walkthroughs. It's time to get in kind of playoff mode early, right? Because this team has missed a lot of reps in terms of OTAs, in terms of training camp with T, Joe coming back off an injury, and Jamar. Everybody's in-house. Everybody is here to get better. Obviously, I think the Jamar Chase anger outburst might be a moment of, coming to where it's like maybe time for to have that players-only meeting, right? And be like, hey, guys, like, it's time to get serious. As we're looking at the rest of our schedule, we need to go and win all of our division games. And we need to do that with a sense of urgency. So I don't think it's time to panic. I don't think it's time to wave the white flag. But it's time to close ranks. It's time to get some extra reps. It's time to get some extra film. It's time to go out there on Sunday over-prepared so you can go and make some plays. And this is a winnable game today.
It is. And it's a game they should win.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised, obviously, the way they've played, the Bengals being 0-3, and then the Panthers looking good last week. I'm kind of surprised this line is only 4.5.
Yeah. Well, Andy played great last week in there playing at home.
He did.
He looked good. It's almost like, hey, you saw that Bryce Young was the issue, right? I mean, the process of him maturing has been the issue. Andy Dalton steps right in and makes some big plays. And I'm happy for Andy Dalton. I watched him play a long time. Actually played against him in the playoffs when he was with Cincinnati, when I was in Houston. So it's good just to see a guy of his age, the TCU Red Rifle still slinging it out there, still being a gunslinger. So I'm happy for him. But today, it's all stripes, baby. It's all jungle on the road. So let's go Bengals. Let's get it done.
When you look at the AFC North right now, and a lot of people coming into the year, including me, thought the AFC North was the best division in football, and it still could be. The Steelers are sitting there at 3-0. The Ravens are 1-2. The Ravens taking on the Bills Sunday Night Football tonight. That's a tough game for them. The Browns taking on the Raiders. They're making the trip out to Vegas. The Browns' offensive line beat up. But Vegas going to be without their best player in Devontae Adams in this. Max Crosby, maybe their second best player, nursing an ankle injury. And then the Bengals sitting there at 0-3. If the Bengals get a win today, there's a good chance they could be tied for second place in this division. Yep. Because the Browns and the Ravens could very easily lose today. So I don't think it's time for them to give up hope yet for if you're a Bengals fan. But it's getting a little hairy. And if you lose today, I think everything's going to be ramped up here. Like 0-4, teams that start 0-4 don't make the playoffs, and people are going to start questioning stuff in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I mean, by all means, but you look at the seasons in months. You look at the season as, hey, let's try and win as many of these 4 games in this month that we can. The Ravens, along with the Bengals, are in the same boat. Obviously, they have one more win, but they still are in the boat of they haven't played any conference games yet. They haven't played any AFC North games yet. And those 2 teams can still win the AFC North big, as crazy as it sounds, starting off 1-3 and 0-4 or 0-3 right now. So that's what makes the NFL great, right? If you can win your division, you give yourself a chance in the playoffs. And the Bengals and the Ravens, by all means, I think have on paper the two of the better teams in this AFC North division, right? So they should be able to do that. But these division games are going to have so many heavy implications on them in terms of the AFC North, and that's what makes it the best league in football, is because of how weighty the games are. They're weighty.
I want to talk about a couple things with the Bengals here. 2 subtractions from their offense this year, and Tyler Boyd and Joe Mixon. Obviously, they've got Chase Brown and Zach Moss taking care of the running back duties. T. Higgins finally came back last week, so they'll have both Chase and Higgins again for a second week, get them integrated back into everything. And Andre Yoshivas has kind of come over as that third receiver. How much do you think those subtractions, though, from the offense are affecting this Bengals team right now? Because Tyler Boyd was a steady veteran presence, and that wide receiver gave Joe kind of someone to dump the ball off to if the other guys were covered. And I think the loss of Mixon is huge.
Yeah, I think they're missing the loss of Mixon the most in terms of Mixon versus Tyler Boyd and even a tight end position. I think it helps Joe in play action. It helps him to be a better quarterback when your rushing attack is so aggressive in the way that Joe Mixon ran, and being able to thump on defenses that way. I also believe Joe Burrow isn't playing up to the level as which he should be playing. And I'll be totally honest with you. If Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson was playing the way that Joe Burrow has been playing, the world would be crashing. Like they would get way more heat bake for Joe Burrow type performances than Joe's getting a pass right now. Joe's getting excuses, and we're giving him excuses because he played in the Super Bowl. But we haven't seen that version of Joe Burrow in a very long time. And one would wonder if Josh Allen or Lamar was playing like this, would they be ready to blow it up, right?
It's interesting. It's, it's crazy to think about that Joe Burrow isn't playing well. Obviously, he's coming off the injury, though. Hopefully
you just did it.
I made an excuse. Yeah. I did.
You just did.
You're right.
And it's like, and I didn't mean to call you out on that, but it's like, we do that for Joe.
For sure.
And if it was for Lamar Jackson, we wouldn't do that. If it was for Josh Allen, we wouldn't do that. It would be like, oh, he's playing bad. I knew he wasn't as good as we thought.
You're right. It's a very interesting point. Hopefully for the Bengals' sake and the Bengals fans, this game against Carolina today can be a get-right game for them, and they can kind of get things back on track, because for the Bengals, you mentioned they have not played an AFC North yet game, and they do that next week. They take on the Ravens, then they got the Giants, the Browns, and the Eagles. So the schedule's going to start to ramp up a little bit here for them, so they're going to need to be hitting their peak. We'll talk some Browns a little later on in the show. Of course, the Browns, you'll hear them right here on The Fan today with pregame coverage beginning immediately after us at 2:30. The man that hypes the Buckeyes up, though, Mekka Don. He joins us next. Ryan Baker, it's Devier Posey. It's Fan Sports Sunday, 97.1 The Fan.
When that alarm clock goes off, Morning Juice comes on. The perfect way to dominate your day or just lay around the house. Morning Juice.
Weekdays at 6.
The Fan.
Your car needs a new battery. That'll be $19,000.
Yeah, I'm going to get a second opinion.
You wouldn't accept that quote, so why accept this one from that other company?
$19,000 for a new sewer line.
I'm going to call the waterworks instead.
Facing an expensive sewer repair? If another company's quote is way more than expected, call the Waterworks for a second opinion. We have the most experienced drain techs in Central Ohio. Call 614-232-2222.
Here, Heart Care helps you heal faster. Advanced, minimally invasive procedures mean less time recovering and more living life. See how we care for all of you at MountCarmelForYou.com. Here, care is where you need it. With over 350 primary care providers in Central Ohio, expert care is minutes away. See how we care for all of you at MountCarmelForYou.com.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code Columbus now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney.
I didn't expect to, but I need to get a new health insurance plan. The good news is I found Health Markets. I went to healthmarkets.com and saw plans available in my area. They have access to more than 200 carriers across the country. And if you need help, you can just speak with a licensed insurance agent. It's all right there for you.
Discover the advantages of real personalized service today at healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Paid actor per trail.
Start Reaction Monday off in style with Bobby and Beam on Morning Juice. They're talking Buckeyes at 6:20, 7:20, and 8:20, and probably all the other minutes in between.
Reaction Monday is sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival returns for its biggest year yet. For the first time with Metallica. 2 nights, 2 different set lists, no repeat weekend. Plus exclusive Metallica experiences. With Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, and over 100 more bands to be announced. 4 days, May 8th to the 11th at historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. Select passes on sale now at SonicTempleFestival.com.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. When it comes to being a Newman Roofing customer, you can trust they're always going to put your needs first. They're going to give you the white glove treatment so you feel confident you're making the best decision. So don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
It's sports conversation, but with a drink and umbrella as a garnish. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Welcome back in, Fan Sports Sunday. Ryan Baker and Devier Posey here with you, getting you ready for your NFL Sunday and giving you some reactions on the Buckeyes game last night. And speaking of the Buckeyes, the man that hypes the Buckeyes, he's going to hype us now.
Buckeye season. It's time to buckle up with Mecca Don.
Mecca Don, Buckeye Nation. It's time.
Buckle up, buckle up.
Joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline is the man you hear right there with his song Buckle Up. This is the hype video for the Buckeyes this year, Mekka Don. And Mecca, what did you think of the Buckeyes' 38-7 win over Michigan State last night?
Overall, I was impressed with the victory. I think, it's first game in conference play on the road. A lot of new guys to the team that probably haven't experienced that yet, including Will Howard, right? So I thought, it was a little shaky at first. I think our defense was a little leaky, kind of that bend but don't break thing. I think better teams probably would have scored and capitalized on some of those moments, and the game could have looked different. But all in all, I thought it was a great performance. We made great adjustments in the second half and came out and looked strong.
Absolutely, Mecca. I don't know if you know, we started a new segment this week. We're going to take a piece out of L.A. Leakers, Sway in the Morning, Funk Master Flex. I'm going to put on a beat. I'm going to need you to freestyle. I'm joking. But I really want to know. I really want to ask you what you thought about Caleb Downs, and did you believe that was his coming out party? I just thought the way that he formed tackle and the physical presence he brought was next level. What'd you think about that?
That dude is something special, man. I every game he impresses me more and more. When people say shot out of a cannon, it's kind of like, a cliche, but it really sometimes looks like he's literally shot out of a cannon. The guy's flying around to the ball. I thought he was super special yesterday. So, he's as good as advertised, which is a good thing for the Buckeyes, right? Because, you never know how someone's going to actually fit in until they actually get there and play. It doesn't really matter what they did somewhere else. It matters what they do for you, and he looks like he's going to be a leader in that defense all season.
Let's switch it over to the other side of the ball. The performance that we saw from Jeremiah Smith last night. He gets a rushing touchdown, the crazy one-handed catch that topped his other one-handed catch he had last night. When you're sitting there watching that, what are you thinking when you're seeing the things that this 18-year-old kid is doing?
I tweeted this yesterday, and I don't think it's hyperbole. I think he's a professional football player already. It just happens to be playing college and happens to be 18. It is, and I say that not just from obviously the spectacular plays that he makes; those are phenomenal. But it's the little things. And Devier as a receiver, this. It's his work ethic. It's his route running. It's his attention to detail. It's his willingness to block. It's his willingness to do to do the little things, right? And then it's his approach to the game. And then obviously his physical talents. That's a professional out there. And I've never seen anything like that before. I've heard about Chris Carter his freshman year. I was too young to actually really understand it, but I've seen clips, so I've heard about that. But other than that, I just have not seen anything. We've seen Maurice Claret at a different position, but I haven't seen anything like that before. And even Ryan Williams, who's amazing at USC, and I guess you could say, well, you have seen something like that. I still think this is different because of body type and just a lot of the other intangibles that I mentioned as well. But it is, there are no words for it.
Okay, to double down then, are you taking Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith, or are you taking Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr.? Which one? Which pair? Over
Right
the next 10 years, which pair?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Stole my question.
Oh, that was your call. Yeah, no, Bake brought that up to me. Got to give Bake the credit.
I mean, God, Malik and Marvin are just, again, they're. If I'm projecting them out, I think that how Jeremiah and Ryan looked as freshmen is better than what Malik and Marvin looked like as freshmen. So I would have to take those guys, right?
This is crazy to say, right?
It is, which feels nuts to say. Because, I mean, you're talking about Hall of Famers. I mean, all four of these guys are probably Hall of Famers, right?
Yeah, definitely at their colleges. Definitely at the college level, for sure. There'll be Hall of Famers at the college level.
Oh, for sure. So, but it's just looking at what they're doing at this level, just how ready they are, it is, whew, no words.
Speaking with Columbus's own Mecca Don on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. And obviously you did the hype video for the Buckeyes this year. You've done them in the past. Your song, the soundtrack for that. I was watching, I don't remember what it was this week, but I was watching some NFL highlights, and they were using Buckle Up as the song for the NFL highlights as well. Obviously, you've been doing this a long time, but does that still get you when you hear your music behind the NFL highlights like that and things?
It really does, man. I think, as artists, like, and I said this in the other interview earlier this week, as artists, part of what we want more than anything is for people to hear our music, right? And so any opportunity that we get, literally, whether it's on a podcast or obviously, like you said, playing it behind highlights or in a commercial or whatever, on the radio, those are always big moments for us. And I think even some of the biggest artists, like you guys I've talked to, some of the biggest artists, those things still give them chills, when they turn on an NBA game and their song is playing, so I don't think those are things that ever get old. And so I'm really excited about Buckle Up and how well it's doing and how much it's kind of crossed over into other areas. I've heard a lot of people say to me, like, listen, I'm not an Ohio State fan, but that song is hard. That song is lit or whatever, but I'm not even a Buckeye fan. And so that's always going to be cool to me as an artist.
Yeah, my only thing I would say is don't limit it to just Ohio State, because when you think about like bands like Queen and like We Will Rock, like stadium music is his own genre. Like making songs for sports is his own genre, and I believe you can definitely go with the Buckle Up Buckeyes play, but I believe Buckle Up is bigger than Ohio State. So, man, hats off to you for making a banger there. But I wanted to get your take on just Will Howard's performance, Mecca, and is he, to you, still the right guy, for this offense, and what you kind of thought about him and battling some adversity last night and coming on the better side of it?
Yeah, I think, and I kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier. I think Will, he's never been in an environment like that, like he was in yesterday. I think that's the first time. And I'm not saying he didn't play some big games and stuff at Kansas State, but this is a different animal with a different type of pressure and a different type of expectation. So I thought he handled it pretty well. He made some ill-advised throws early on in the game that I thought were, for lack of a better word, amateur, right? Like there's, safety is there, bro. Like, what are we doing? You got to know that, right? But, when you're playing against lesser talent that we played against the first 3 weeks, maybe the safety wasn't there, and so you feel like you can make those throws. But those are things that I think are important, and that's why it's important to get into these games, because you can't learn some of those things until you really start playing. But I like Will as a leader, more than even just as a quarterback, a raw quarterback. I like him as a leader. I think he has good command of that offense. I think the guys respect him. I think he's a fighter. I think he'll do what he has to do to win. So I'm encouraged. I mean, I think is he the best quarterback that Ohio State ever had? No. But I don't think that's what's necessary for us to win this year. So I think he's more than good enough.
Mecca, before we get you out of here, your proud Stallion, St. Francis de Sales Stallion, they're 5-1 on the year, ripped off 5 straight wins. I don't know how much you get to follow the Stallions on Friday nights. They got a big one with Hartley this weekend. It'll be our game of the week over on ESPN Columbus. How do you think Coach Wiggins and RJ Day and the boys are doing?
I think they're doing great. It's funny. I actually talked to Coach Wiggins last week. He wants me to come talk to the team pretty soon, which I haven't done yet, amazingly. Coach Wiggins was actually my wide receiver coach when I was in high school, and now he's obviously the head coach. So I'm super proud of what they're doing. I'm glad to hear that you guys had that game. I might try to shoot over there this Friday because it's been a while since I've been back. But I'm super proud of them, and I always kind of keep an eye on it, especially when we play Waterson. It's our big rival. So yeah, I'm super proud of those guys, and RJ's a stud in the making. So they got something going over there. I'm excited for them. Yeah,
it should be a fun one this Friday night. And you mentioned Week 10, that Waterson matchup. That's like Yankees-Red Sox for all you guys, isn't it?
100%. Ohio State, TTUN, Yankees, Red Sox. It doesn't get bigger than that. So it's exciting. I'll probably be at that one.
Mecca, thanks so much for joining us today, like you always do on a Sunday. And we look forward to talking to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Go Bucks.
Former Buckeye Mecca Don joining us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. It was cool listening to those NFL highlights and hearing Buckle Up behind it. And Buckle Up, like we were talking about for this defense, it's almost like the perfect song for this defense this year, because when they're at their best, like we talked about, they're going downhill, they're playing fast, and they're hitting people.
Buckle up.
There is a interesting story going on in the world of NIL and college football, and I can't wait to get your take on it. Devier, we'll talk about that coming up next. It's Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Your local Rite Aid might be closing, but don't worry. It's easy to transfer your prescriptions with GoodRx. First, check prices at GoodRx.com or on our app. Then show your coupon to the pharmacist. It's that simple. GoodRx can save you up to 80% on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, GoodRx is free, and it works whether you have insurance or not. Download the app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
At Kroger Pharmacy, CARE is making it easy to get vaccinated. CARE is helping you stay protected from flu, COVID, and RSV. Seasonal vaccines are available 7 days a week with evening hours. CARE is giving you a shot at staying healthy this season. Walk in whenever is best and get multiple vaccines in one visit at your local Kroger Pharmacy. So come and get the protection you need while protecting those around you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Visit Kroger.com/vaccines for more. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See site for details.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. Have we spent enough time telling homeowners how much the name Eco can actually mean?
Well, I did name the company that, so yes.
I mean explaining that Eco can stand for how much better we can make your plumbing, ecologically speaking.
Get Eco.
A tankless water heater, for example. Switching to tankless means your family has unlimited hot water. Shower after shower after shower, without having to use precious electricity to keep a big tank of water hot 24 hours a day. It's ecological.
Pretty good wordplay for a guy that almost failed English, don't you think?
Get Eco.
I think if more people knew they could help the planet just by taking a shower, I think we might be onto something.
That's not quite as ecological as the first thing you said, but okay.
You know, I'm working on inventing a new kind of junk mail that throws itself away.
And the planet thanks you, Jerry.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
You were charging your phone? I waited hours for you.
That's how long it takes.
Join Metro and get a free Motorola Edge that'll charge for the day in 15 minutes. At Metro, there's no activation fees. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Bring your number ID and sign up for Metro Flex Plus plan. Offer not available if at T-Mobile or have been with Metro in the past 180 days. Requires 68-watt charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. The people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No.
but she did find Direct Auto savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
APCO, windows, siding, and decks. Business First says we're the largest remodeler in town. Our philosophy is simple. We don't rely on sales gimmicks to get our customers. We rely on our reputation.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
When you travel, they always say, get a room with a view. And there's no better way to travel than the roomy new Toyota Camry. It's all hybrid all the time, so you can take your travels even farther. Now through September 30th, you can lease a Camry LE for $299 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing with approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Book your room now. Toyota. Let's go places.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tito and Devier are so dedicated to their craft, they slept in the studios last night. Or they were too hungover. Whatever. It's Fan Sports Sunday.
No one hungover here, just excited from a big Buckeye victory. Partying hard for the Buckeyes for sure. 38-7, they beat Michigan State last night. Ohio State 4-0 now to start the season, 1-0 in the Big Ten Conference play. Probably going to see the new college football rankings coming out sometime here this afternoon. Texas was number 1, Georgia number 2, Ohio State number 3, Bama number 4. Obviously, we're going to see some shakeup there, Devier, from Alabama beating Georgia. Do you think Alabama can hop all the way up to number 1 after that win this week, or do you think we'll just see Texas, Bama, Ohio State, or Texas, Ohio State, Bama?
I think we're going to see Texas, Ohio State, Bama, or maybe Texas, Bama, Ohio State, one of those two. But also, it's just some movement there too with the 5th and 6th spot too. I thought Miami maybe might move up to that number 5 spot, just doing parts of the fact that they got that Virginia Tech dub and Ole Miss dropped one. Who's number 5 right now? Let's see.
I'd have to look and see there who that is.
I believe Tennessee.
Tennessee, that's correct.
Tennessee. So I would probably say that Georgia would be the 3rd best team in the SEC right now. I can see Tennessee moving to 4. I mean, do you feel like with the Kentucky win and the Alabama loss that they fall out of the top 5?
So I think if that game would have stayed on the path it was, Alabama would have jumped up to number 1, and Georgia might have fallen down quite a bit. But now I'm not sure that they will fall as far, and I don't know if Alabama will jump. I think Alabama jumps Ohio State, unfortunately, and I think they'll be number 2. Again, it doesn't matter right now.
Yeah, Ohio State
I think
State's
Georgia
3rd.
falls back to 5 or 6. I'm not sure.
Tennessee goes
exactly.
to 4.
Tennessee will probably be the number 4. They've looked the part so far this year.
Is Alabama number 5? I guess the question is, I'm sorry, does Georgia fall behind Miami?
I don't think so, because I think a lot of people think Miami lost that game. You know, I think they feel like Virginia Tech got kind of robbed, and Miami was getting beat. They came back late to get the win. And we talked about, listen, wins are all that matter. in this. You can talk about style points and yada, yada, and all that, but just win football games. And that's what Miami did there. There's going to be some controversy, though, because of the overturned touchdown at the end. But I would think Georgia stays at number 5 ahead of Miami.
Okay. I think the biggest, in terms of who got robbed, the biggest rob to me was Minnesota on that offsides versus Michigan.
Biddle was talking about that today, this morning.
Oh, man. Because me and Matty Ice were in the studio watching that play right here, and I was like, even me, the guy in New York, Matty, we didn't think he was offsides, man. And they go down, and they have a chance to maybe go score a touchdown or maybe even go tie the game with a field goal. But, it was some great ball on. I mean, what was your most favorite game out of all the games yesterday, Bake?
I think that Alabama-Georgia game, just how wild it was and crazy.
Obviously, that's number
outside
one.
of that, the Kentucky-Ole Miss game I thought was great.
Kentucky-Ole Miss, yeah.
I loved watching that. I loved seeing what you saw from Brock Vandergriff. And I think that was probably the one for me. There's a crazy story. To me, at least, it's crazy going on right now in college football.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the story of the UNLV quarterback, Matthew Solka. And they went out and won without him yesterday and improved to 4-0. But he said he had a verbal agreement with an assistant coach that he was going to get $100,000 to play at UNLV. UNLV said that they have no record of that. Now, they had paid him $12,000 so far, $3,000 for each month, or $4,000, for each month. Mm-hmm. So he was at $12,000, so he's been paid. So according to him, they still owe him $88,000 from this agreement. Yeah, that's right.
That's a lot of money.
Now, so he has said, and this was his statement, I've decided to utilize my redshirt year and will not be playing in any additional games this season. I committed to UNLV based on certain representations that were made to me, which were not upheld after I enrolled. Despite discussions, it became clear that these commitments would not be fulfilled in the future. I wish my teammates the best of luck this season and hope for the continued success of the program. Now, nobody talks that the running back has left the program as well. Because of something like this. But I thought this was interesting. Mike Palm, he's the vice president of operations for Circa Sports, which is a resort and casino headquartered in Las Vegas. He made an attempt to keep Solka from leaving UNLV by offering him to pay the $100,000 that the assistant coach told him the school would give him. Now, the NCAA does not allow...
He's a casino guy, right?
Yeah.
This is a casino guy, yeah.
This does not allow students to make NIL deals with sports gambling teams. He says, though, that they do enough other things that they could get around that. Solka is still gone from UNLV, though. I just think this is a wild story, Devier, and I hate that we've gotten here. And I kind of blame Solka for this a little bit because we saw Jeremiah Smith. He didn't put pen to paper to Ohio State until he got his NIL deals sorted out and made sure they were guaranteed and good to go. Like, you've been in college. You've done this a little bit. He transferred to UNLV from Holy Cross. You got to make sure these I's and T's are dotted. I hate that these kids are getting misinformation and whatnot, but you also, this is the personal responsibility that comes in where you got to take care of your own affairs.
But at the same time, yes. But I get what you're saying. Yes, you got to be a man. You got to make sure things are signed or whatever. You got to have your legal team. But there's not a union. There's not an NIL, signing day. There's not any rules that govern what these schools can do. And they still have the power, right? And they still can not make good on some promises that they have made to kids. And I think what the beauty of this situation is a kid taking his power back and saying, hey, like, I'm not going to play, right? Like we're talking about money here. I mean, I obviously don't have an NFL future. I want to lock that cash in. Like, and you guys aren't making good. I mean, you got to play hardball. Sometimes it bites you. But I kind of got a lot of respect for this kid for standing up and starting the first NIL in-season holdout. This is crazy.
I hate that this is where we're at in the sport that we're dealing with this. Haj Malik Williams stepped in for UNLV, and they didn't miss a beat as they beat Fresno State 59-14 over the weekend. It's unfortunate that this kid got misrepresentation and that this couldn't get worked out and he could stay there with his teammates at UNLV. Hopefully we figure out a way to prevent this in the future. Put some rules and regulations in on this stuff where we don't have to deal with players missing out in the future, unfortunately. The NFL season is about, or the NFL Week 4, their Sunday is about to get underway. We'll talk some NFL coming up next. It's Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Navigating mental health insurance benefits can be overwhelming, but you don't have to do it alone. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to guide you. Our expert team will help you connect with your health insurance plan to understand available behavioral health benefits. Say goodbye to frustration and hello to control over your mental well-being. Call 855-438-6442 today.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers and hot dogs on the grill, and a delicious, refreshing Pepsi Zero Sugar in your hand. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Pepsi, the official beverage of Grills Night Out.
Attention Ohio pizza restaurant owners. Tired of glitchy point-of-sale systems slowing you down? Meet Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. With reliable hardware, an easy-to-use system, and 24/7 customer support, Hunger Rush speeds up your operations and boosts repeat orders by up to 10%. This is the restaurant point-of-sale built for pizza. Easily manage your drivers, easily take orders online, easily train your staff in minutes, and easily make modifications. Need to talk to a real person? That's easy too. Top Ohio pizzerias are winning with Hunger Rush. Solutions to help you streamline service, optimize workflows, and maximize profits. Join the thousands of successful restaurants transforming their operations with Hunger Rush for $0 down and $0 a month. Tools for menu management, marketing, customer engagement, and increased upsells, all in one simple platform. That's Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. Schedule your free no-obligation demo at ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good afternoon. I'm Cam Taylor. The Ohio State Buckeyes opened conference play yesterday with a 38-7 win on the road at Michigan State. Will Howard went 21 of 31 for 244 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. True freshman Jeremiah Smith finished the day with 5 catches for 83 yards, a touchdown, and a 19-yard touchdown on the ground. The Buckeyes will next face Iowa at home next Saturday at 3:30. The Georgia-Alabama game last night lived up to the hype and expectation with a crazy fourth quarter where each team traded touchdowns in the final few minutes. 17-year-old true freshman Ryan Williams scored a 75-yard game-winning touchdown to give the Tide a 41-34 victory. The Cincinnati Bengals are on the road to face the Carolina Panthers at 1 p.m. The Pittsburgh Steelers face the Indianapolis Colts at 1 p.m. And the Cleveland Browns are in Las Vegas to face the Raiders at 4:25, with pregame coverage starting on The Fan at 2:30.
Are you still in your pajamas? We are. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Welcome back in. Fan Sports Sunday. We're going to go till 2:30 today, taking you right up to pregame coverage of the Browns and the Vegas Raiders. I'm Ryan Baker. He is Devier Posey. Devier, we have got a full slate of NFL games starting right now. Up on the TVs here in front of us, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Carolina Panthers as well getting underway here. Before we get into the slate today and get your thoughts on if any of these games catch your eye at all or anything stands out, what has been your thoughts, observations so far on the first 3 weeks of the NFL season?
It's been crazy. It's been so up and down and so unpredictable in terms of the underdogs winning, right? But I think the story of the season is starting to play out with health, just like it does every year. And then also just like new faces in new places. Andy Dalton, obviously think guys that we believe, are going to be good. Derek Carr in a new place. Baker getting comfortable in his new place. Aaron Rodgers is fine. We finally get to see him with the Jets. So it's been an interesting season so far. I honestly can't tell you who's coming out of the NFC right now. I just have no idea. And then, obviously, with the Bengals and the Chiefs and the Ravens and also the Bills, the AFC is up for grabs again. Obviously, you just wonder with Travis Kelce not getting rolling, when the Chiefs are going to get rolling. So, man, it's been crazy start, though. I mean, if I was a bettor, I wouldn't know. I would probably do what you do, Bacon. That's just like bet on who's scoring touchdowns. I would stay away from
love those touchdown
spreads. Bets. Yeah, I would stay away from spreads right now.
There's only 5 teams after 3 weeks, 5 teams in the NFL that are 3-0. There is only one team. I'm sorry. There are 3 teams in the NFL that are 0-3. So I think that all speaks to the parity of the NFL that we see every year. I think the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs, most people would think, yeah, possibly they could have been 3-0. There were some people down on the Bills thinking that their demise was coming. Out of the Steelers, the Vikings, and the Seattle Seahawks, which of those 3 teams that are undefeated right now do you believe in the most, and which one do you think could be a fraud?
Seattle's, Vikings. I'm sorry, you said Seattle, Vikings. Who's the third?
The Vikings, Seattle, and the Steelers.
Safe bet is with the Steelers. It's a safe bet. I mean, Mike has always been the type of coach that's going to have winning seasons. You kind of got a guy in there that's going to be, he's going to get better. Justin Fields is going to get better, but the defense has always been the defense. The Vikings could just be off to a hot start. Sam
Darnold's looked really good.
I would probably go real deal rankings out of those 3 teams. I would go Steelers, Seattle, Vikings. Like, I put my trust in that ranking, if that makes sense.
I understand totally. I get it. With the 3 winless teams, the Bengals, the Jags, and the Titans.
Yeah.
Do you think any of those 3, and we've kind of talked about the Bengals a little already, do you think any of those 3 can beat the odds and make it into the playoffs?
The Bengals. Absolutely. I really don't feel too confident about the Jaguars. They just look really bad as a squad. Just right now in this part of the season, the Bengals are just not too far off. They had some close losses there, played some good teams. They need to fix a few things, have a sense of urgency, and get some stops on defense. But I think the Bengals would be for real out of all those squads.
And as we're looking at the TV screens now, the Indianapolis Colts have taken an early lead on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
Jonathan Taylor touchdown. We saw highlights earlier of Jonathan Taylor warming up, and you pointed at the screen and you said that'd be a guy for the touchdown bets.
And did you get it in?
He put one in.
Did you get it in?
I got him in a couple here.
All right, there we go. All right,
but Jonathan Taylor as well. Also, early leads. The Vikings have taken an early lead over the Packers, 6-0 right now. Sam Darnold hit Jordan Addison on a 29-yard touchdown pass. So another one of the teams we talked about, Trevor Lawrence has thrown a touchdown pass to Brian Thomas. They have an early lead on the Texans.
There we go. Been waiting on Brian Thomas to pop. He was a high draft pick out of LSU. He was the B option with Malik Neighbors last year with Jaden Daniels, and just been waiting on him to kind of come. They took him really high in the draft, and I'm pretty sure Jacksonville is like, hey, it's time to get him going at this part in the season.
I'm going to take the Sunday night game out of it because I think the Ravens-Bills is going to probably be a classic tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a
on
banger.
this slate of games here today. Is there any game in particular that you're looking at that kind of pops out and catches your eye?
I really want to see how the Chargers and the Chiefs collide.
That's one of the ones.
With Jim Harbaugh and just his style of play and what kind of adjustments he makes with his defensive mind and his physicality. And obviously Justin Herbert is healthy too. So I just want to see someone challenge these Chiefs in the AFC West just somehow, some way. And then also another game that's popping off to me is Lions and Seahawks. That's those two teams right now.
And that's tomorrow night. That's one of the Monday night games.
Yeah, so those two teams to me would be my favorite in the NFC, one of those teams to make it out.
Because you talked, and I love the Lions in the NFC. I have all year. I thought that they were going to I thought they were going to win the NFC this year and be the representative in the Super Bowl. Another game, because the NFC is so wide open, another game that I've kind of got my eye on today
Cowboys and the Giants.
No, the Tampa Bay Philly game.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure what either of those teams are. They have the potential, obviously, to be really good. They have the potential to win their divisions and make the playoffs. But I don't know if I believe in either of those teams yet. So I think that's an interesting one today that can go for a big game in the NFC.
No, that's actually a huge game right there. I think it will just let you know a lot about the Eagles and the Bucks, like who's for real here, right? And it's one of those games to where you would like to see Baker really come out and dominate and get into rhythm early. And then also just like how are the Eagles going to handle these injuries and being nicked up? Obviously, A.J. Brown's out and how they can make adjustments. But if I'm the Eagles, I'm riding Saquads all the way, man, all the way.
See that the Falcons have taken an early 7-0 lead on the Saints. Looking to see how they scored. It looks like they've got a touchdown on special teams here. Kadarius Hodge, the former Cleveland Brown, has scored a touchdown for them. Another game that's interesting to me, Devier, and I love like the Bengals playing Andy Dalton. I love that, if you play a former longtime player or whatever. This Minnesota Green Bay game to me is Aaron Jones, longtime great running back for Green Bay. They let him go. He goes to Minnesota. They bring in Josh Jacobs. You mentioned there was a little trash talk from Josh Jacobs.
Aaron
I love to see this game. I've got Aaron Jones in a couple touchdown parlays today because I just think he's going to be fired up to play his former team.
Oh, yeah. They're already up 7-0. I mean, and it's one of those things where you don't really get to control much of where you end up. But when you have someone that's preceding you and they're talking a little stuff, you kind of like, okay, I'm going to show you, man. So, that is a big NFC North battle, historic battle. You're talking about two great brands there at Lambeau Field, Justin Jefferson. Man, you're talking about a banger of a game.
For the second week in a row, Devier, we've got a Monday night doubleheader. You talked about the Lions and Seahawks tomorrow night. That's going to be the later game. That kicks off at the normal time of 8:15. The Titans at the Dolphins. What a dog game that seems like right now.
Yeah.
Going off at 7:30. I think we all like the Monday night doubleheader. Is the NFL dropping the ball a little bit here, though, by not spacing these games out a little more so we can focus our attention on each one?
I mean, how early can you really start? I mean, how late can you really go when you have a looming NFL week coming up on Tuesday? It's already kind of putting you behind the 8 ball after an extended week of practice. You know my answer. You gotta just get the split screens. If you're serious about fandom and you're serious about watching a lot of football, if you don't have 2 TVs or if don't have the YouTube split screen, you're not that serious. You're not that serious. We live in a world where technology, we're done with those problems, Bake. We're done with one TV problems. Get the apps, upgrade, and split the screens. Let's go.
I know you're a special streamer like me. Yeah. Does your special stream have the split screen, the 4-box, all of that?
Absolutely.
I got the quad box as well, and that's nice to have on an NFL Sunday, especially when your team is not playing. Like if the Browns are not playing and I'm not focused on that, to have different things, or have the red zone and 3 other games.
Well, what's clutch about the stream is having multiple city CBSs. Like I need all of the CBSs for all of America. I need all of the NBC. Well, NBC
all
is
the
only.
Fox.
I need all the Foxes for the 1:00 games. That's what's special. And what I normally do, Beck, I only do 3 screens, and then I normally put like Nickelodeon Junior on the 4th screen, so I can watch. And I put the volume on the baby's TV. And then so he's happy, and then I'm happy watching 3 other games.
This isn't your first rodeo, is it, sir?
No.
What's nice about mine is you talk about all the different CBSs. I have just an NFL thing that I can go to, and it has each team, and I can just click on that team and watch their game. It's a beautiful thing.
That is good. That's
a beautiful thing. Devier, speaking of dad duties, you got to go tend to some dad duties, so you're going to get out of here.
Knock some stuff out, man. It's always great to be with you guys on a Sunday, but, man, Sundays are busy.
Hopefully you enjoy hanging out with the boys here later today, and enjoy your NFL Sunday as well. We will talk to you soon. Next, I'm going to do something that I don't know I really want to, but I'm going to talk about my Cleveland Browns, unfortunately, and give you a little preview of their game coming up with the Raiders. Later today, of course, you can hear that right here on The Fan starting at 2:30 with pregame coverage. We will do that next. It's Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Navigating mental health insurance benefits can be overwhelming, but you don't have to do it alone. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to guide you. Our expert team will help you connect with your health insurance plan to understand available behavioral health benefits. Say goodbye to frustration and hello to control over your mental well-being. Call 855-438-6442 today.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Fall is here. It's the perfect time to replace those old, drafty windows before the cold sets in. As temperatures drop, you don't want to be stuck with windows that make your heating system work overtime, because that will cost you money. My guys at Universal Windows Direct back everything up with a true lifetime warranty as long as you own the home, and a 20-year warranty to the next homeowner. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply, because they always do. Call them today, 614-502-5220, or go to uwd.com.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real-person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Trustin Will knows that you're likely celebrating a loved one's birthday this month because fall is the most popular birthday season in America. And Trust & Will celebrates by protecting what matters most. Trust & Will makes estate planning easy and affordable, designed by attorneys but customized by you. Visit trustandwill.com with offer code Columbus for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trust & Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
Hey Columbus, Caden Curry here, Ohio State student athlete for Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. When it comes to hard work, whether on the field or the farm, I need something that's as tough and reliable as I am. That's why I trust Kubota diesel tractors from Green & Sons. Kubota's diesel tractor motors are high-powered, reliable, and don't stop running, just how I like to play. So when you're serious about getting the job done, you need the Kubota equipment you can trust from Green & Sons. Check them out at greenandsons.com or stop by one of their stores in Mount Sterling and in Raymond, north of Marysville.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
At APCO Windows, there's no 35% off sales, no buy one, get one free, just our best bottom line price. So get multiple estimates. Just make sure one is from APCO.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
Pop quiz. What's the best way to go back to school? With Giant Eagle and Market District, of course. From lunchbox favorites to fun after-school snacks, they make it easy to care for growing minds and stomachs. And with their Deals for School Days program, you'll enjoy savings on thousands of items throughout the store. But don't wait. Featured items are only available at these low prices for a limited time. So stop in and stock up for the ultimate back-to-school pantry. Visit your local Giant Eagle or Market District today.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com.
Right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of clouds around, a couple light showers on your Sunday. Temperatures only in the low 70s. Overnight down to the mid 60s. A few more leftover showers and some patchy fog. Late day scattered showers on Monday with high temperatures in the mid 70s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
You're listening to The Fan. It's Sunday. We're a sports station, and we shall call it Fan Sports Sunday.
Obviously, very, very disappointed to play like we did and not be able to put ourselves in position to play good enough to win. So I got to get it fixed. It's really disappointing on a bunch of different levels. I know we can be better, and we will be. That's the truth of the NFL is got a game next week versus an AFC opponent, and that's really will be our focus very quickly here. But very, very disappointed. That's not good enough from a player standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, you name it, just not good enough. And you're not going to win games when you play like that.
That was Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski stepping to the podium last week after the Browns. And he used the word disappointing 21-15 loss over the Giants. The Browns now 1-2 on the season. They've lost to the Cowboys. They beat the Jaguars, and then that loss to the Giants last week. They're on the road this week in Las Vegas, taking on the Raiders. Again, you can hear that on the Fan. 2:30 pregame coverage begins with our guy Tyvis Powell in the gang, and then 4:25 kickoff here on the Fan. And that was Stefanski talking after the game last week. But as a Browns fan for 43 years of my life, minus the few years where there are no Cleveland Browns, I think for the most part, that could be the Browns in general. Unfortunately, there were a lot of high hopes for Cleveland this year, and a lot of that hinged on Deshaun Watson. And we haven't seen a great Deshaun Watson this year. We haven't seen a great Deshaun Watson, honestly, outside of, I believe, one half of football against the Ravens last year since he was the quarterback of the Houston Texans. The Browns take on the Raiders today, and then they got the Commanders next week. I don't think that there is ever this year an easy game for the Browns. I think they've proved that so far. But when you look at the schedule coming up for Cleveland, you've got the Eagles after that Commanders game next week. You've got the Bengals, the Ravens, the Chargers, the Saints, the Steelers. Through the month of November, you are running a gauntlet. So if you are Cleveland and you want to stay in this playoff hunt for the rest of this season, you have got to make hay this week against the Raiders and next week against the Commanders, because the next 6 games are all going to be extremely tough. Then you've got the Broncos. Then you've got the Steelers, Chiefs, Bengals, Dolphins, and Ravens to round out the year. Now, obviously, we don't know what Tua's status is or will be for that December 29th game against the Dolphins. But you don't have a lot of layups the rest of the way on the schedule. And I don't know if you ever have layups in the NFL. That's kind of been proven this year. But you don't have any layups, so you've got to try to take care of business this week and next. Now, I know it's going to be tough because the offensive line is beat up, and you're not going to have them this week. And the Giants, I don't think the Giants are a very good football team, but one thing they do have is a great pass rush and a beat-up Browns offensive line last week. They did Deshaun Watson no favors. He had no time. He was sacked 8 times. He was getting beat up. It almost felt like Ben Finley for Akron against Ohio State in that Week 1 game. It's a miracle that Deshaun, could have even finished that game as many hits as he took. The offensive line is beat up. Now, a good thing for that, Max Crosby, the great defensive end for the Raiders today, he is a little beat up. He's got an ankle injury. It looks like he's going to play. But still, how good will he be? How effective will he be against this Browns offensive line? That's a plus. Another plus, you don't have to deal with Devontae Adams today, the main weapon for the Raiders on the offensive side of the football. He's not there. So you're going to have to stop a Brock Bowers, a Michael Mayers, Zamir White, but it's not as hard with no Devontae Adams. I did not have high hopes for the Browns this year. I thought that they would finish last in this division, which you could go 9-8 and finish last in this AFC North. I did not have high hopes, but I don't think my hopes I think they've gotten even worse after this start for the Browns. That game last week was so disappointing. Cam, I don't know how you feel about the Browns, if you're as negative about the Browns as I am, but none of this looks good for Cleveland at all.
Yes, definitely a tough start to the season for Cleveland Browns fans. I'm not one, but I definitely know a bunch. I'm best friends with a few, and definitely comes back to kind of the Deshaun Watson trade. If really looking back, if that was the right move to make, what Cleveland had to give up, the amount of money, obviously guaranteed money, that went to Deshaun Watson, and then his play on the field just really hasn't lived up to what the Browns gave up to get him and the price tag. And then, yes, it's just unfortunate. I feel for the Browns fans and for Kevin Stefanski. I feel like he did a great job last year, kind of with injuries and just kind of making a lot out of nothing with a roster last year. And then it's just off to a bad start so far this year.
Now, possibly the one saving grace for the Browns here this year is the fact that hopefully you're getting Nick Chubb back at some point. We don't know when that is. He has to be out at least through this week. Yeah. Don't know if he'll be back next week or week 6 or when that'll be, if he'll sit out the whole first half of the season. Hopefully, whenever you do get him back, he is a healthy Nick Chubb and is close to the version of Nick Chubb that you had when he went down with injury. The other maybe saving grace is your offensive line. Can it get healthy? How healthy can an offensive lineman get in the season, though? I don't know, but hopefully you can get a Jack Conklin, a Jed Wills, a DeJuan Jones, everybody completely healthy, and hopefully that is the saving grace for the Browns, is they can get those linemen back, they can get that running game going. And you need to make hay, though, this week and next week. You got to take care of business. Just real quick, looking at some NFL games, seeing Anthony Richardson went down, kind of holding his side. Joe Flacco has come in, and he is leading the Colts right now. Richardson's on the sideline. It doesn't look like it's too serious for him, but maybe the Colts get some Flacco magic right now. We'll see. Speaking of magic, can the Blue Jackets pull off some magic and make it back to the playoffs this season? Dylan Tyrer, he's the pre- and post-game host on the Blue Jackets Radio Network. He joins us next to talk some hockey. It's Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. Have we spent enough time telling homeowners how much the name Eco can actually mean?
Well, I did name the company that, so yes.
I mean explaining that Eco can stand for how much better we can make your plumbing, ecologically speaking.
Get Eco.
A tankless water heater, for example. Switching to tankless means your family has unlimited hot water. Shower after shower after shower, without having to use precious electricity to keep a big tank of water hot 24 hours a day. It's ecological.
Pretty good wordplay for a guy that almost failed English, don't you think?
Get Eco.
I think if more people knew they could help the planet just by taking a shower, I think we might be onto something.
That's not quite as ecological as the first thing you said, but okay.
You know, I'm working on inventing a new kind of junk mail that throws itself away.
And the planet thanks you, Jerry.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
Quite a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box, Biatch.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
I didn't expect to, but I need to get a new health insurance plan. The good news is I found Health Markets. I went to healthmarkets.com and saw plans available in my area. They have access to more than 200 carriers across the country. And if you need help, you can just speak with a licensed insurance agent. It's all right there for you.
Discover the advantages of real personalized service today at healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Paid actor per trail.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the sports book, the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino. Yes, they've changed the name.
It is better than ever, but they're still going to have your favorite teams on the biggest screens. You can place your bets, grab some wings and an ice-cold pint, and even hang out with us.
We're going to be there broadcasting live from 3 to 6, Friday, September 27th. And we've got tickets to give away, so come and be with us and hug us.
Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Save big money on your next project right now at Menards. Insulate your home and save on energy costs with Owens Corning Pink Foamular Insulation Panels. Foamular insulation panels are moisture resistant and rugged enough to be used anywhere, even underground. Plus, they're available in many different sizes and thicknesses to fit any project. Pick up your pink Foamular Insulation Panels today and check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals.
Save big money at Menards.
With so much in one place, Meijer is the only stop you'll need to make. Save big with weekly deals going on now. Like California red or black seedless grapes, only $1.49 per pound. Fresh from Meijer 80% lean ground beef, just $4.99 a pound. And Meijer shredded, sliced, or chunk cheese, 3 for $6. You can always count on low prices and great quality at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See these deals and more in-store or in the Meijer app.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Coffee? These guys don't need coffee. They're jacked on life and Buckeye football. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Yeah, you don't need no coffee after a big Buckeye win last night, 38-7 over Michigan State. Welcome back in. It is Fan Sports Sunday. Ryan Baker and Cam Taylor hanging out with you guys until 2:30 when pregame coverage of the Cleveland Browns Las Vegas Raiders game starts right here on the Fan. Just a couple quick updates on the NFL. The Bengals have scored and taken a 7-0 lead over the Panthers. Chase Brown with the touchdown there. We talked about Anthony Richardson going down. He has gone back to the locker room. Flacco did lead them down on a touchdown drive, though he finished that off, so they have a 14-0 lead over the Steelers. This is one of my favorite times of the year, obviously because of the Buckeyes and football and NFL football, but Jackets hockey is back and the regular season is about to get underway. Our friend Dylan Tyrer, the pre- and post-game host on the Blue Jackets Radio Network, joins us now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. And Dylan, first things first, thanks for taking some time and talking a little Jackets with us on a Sunday.
Yeah, of course, Ryan. Thanks for having me. Joe Flacco, how about that? I'm sure Browns fans don't like to hear that Joe Flacco is still kicking and leading the Colts down the field, but hey, good for him.
As if us Browns fans, Dylan, needed any more shots to the heart. Joe Flacco beating the Pittsburgh Steelers today with the Indianapolis Colts. Mike, it could be the final nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah, that does not sound good for you whatsoever.
Dylan, real quick, before we get into what we've seen on the ice so far in training camp and what's going forward here for the Jackets, you're there, a part of the organization. You've been there through this whole tragedy with Johnny Gaudreau. So real quick, just before we get into anything else, how do you feel that this organization from the inside at least, has handled everything with this and dealt with this? There's no script in the playbook for handling something like this.
No, you're right, Ryan. And I think that's the first thing that you have to think about, right? How do you handle something like this? There's no perfect way to handle it because, it is such a tragedy and it's going to affect everybody in the organization differently. With that said, I think there's a tremendous sense of unity within the organization and more specifically within the team on the ice right now. I've been really impressed throughout the start of training camp and the preseason just how well everybody has handled it. There are going to be some days that are tougher than others. Sean Monahan played in his first preseason game last night, and he kind of talked about it, that it was quite heavy entering the Blue Jackets dressing room and seeing Johnny Gaudreau's jersey hanging there for the first time. And, that's where Sean Monahan's locker is, beside Johnny Gaudreau's jersey. So there are going to be moments like that. But Sean also said that, it brought up some good memories for him, fun times with Johnny Gaudreau. And obviously he had a good game, scoring 2 goals in his preseason debut for the Blue Jackets last night. But yeah, I've come away thoroughly impressed by the way the team has handled things. And, the next big thing will be the first home game at Nationwide Arena on the 15th when the Blue Jackets plan on honoring the lives of Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau. I'm sure that's going to be extremely emotional and really difficult for everybody in the organization, but it'll also be, what I said, a celebration, right? And there's of course lots of strength in knowing that Johnny's wife, Meredith, said that, what Johnny would want the team to do is play hockey. So that's exactly what the Blue Jackets are doing, and I feel that's a tremendous way to honor him.
Dylan, you talked about the game last night. The Jackets take down the Buffalo Sabres 6-3. The lineup last night was pretty close to probably what we will see when the Jackets drop puck on the regular season. That's the most NHL lineup they've put out so far this year in the preseason. What did you see from the Jackets last night in that lineup that you liked?
Yeah, it was a frustrating start for the Blue Jackets, that's for sure, because they had an NHL lineup, like you said, facing off against what was a pretty much the entire AHL team for the Buffalo Sabres. That's because Buffalo, their NHL team, is over in Europe right now getting ready for the NHL Global Series. They had actually just played in Germany the night before. So, yeah, with that in mind, the Blue Jackets were down 2-0 relatively early on in the second period. You know, you're thinking to yourself, man, this team is struggling right now. You could see them getting shots on goal, though. They just kept chipping away, and nothing was really going for them. Then finally, James Van Riemsdyk, another new Blue Jacket, scored at the end of the second period. And then they absolutely dominated in the third, you know, blowing things open and eventually winning the game 6-3. So, you know, I just think the stick with it for the Blue Jackets in that game was very impressive. Elvis Merzlikins made some huge saves in the first couple of periods in that one, really keeping the Blue Jackets in the game. And then the big dogs took over, which was terrific to see. Adam Fantilli, 4 goals in the last 2 games. He scored a big one in the third period. I mentioned Sean Monahan scoring twice. Kent Johnson, though, for me has been the real, I wouldn't even call it a surprise of training camp because he was the former 5th overall pick. But it looks like he's starting to establish himself in the NHL. He was the Blue Jackets' best player, I thought, last night, had 2 assists, really made Sean Monahan's first goal extremely easy, put it right on his tape on the power play. All Monahan had to do was redirect the puck into a wide-open net. KJ, for me, has been the most impressive guy in camp so far. And if he can make that next step when it comes to the regular season this year, look out, the Blue Jackets really have something. So I thought it was good to see him on the ice with the full NHL lineup and see how the chemistry worked with some of the different lines. And, you know, I think the way the Blue Jackets played in the third period, you want to build off that going forward.
I'm glad you mentioned KJ there because that's where I was going to go next. Kent Johnson, obviously a sophomore slump last year. Not a great season for him. Ends it on the IR. You don't replace Johnny Gaudreau on the ice, obviously, but if there is somebody that had the closest skill set to remember or to resemble a Johnny Gaudreau, it is Kent Johnson, and everybody, Dylan, has just raved about him in practice. We're seeing results on the ice in these preseason games. What is the biggest difference that you see in Kent Johnson, the Kent Johnson that we're seeing right now compared to the one that we saw last season?
Well, there are a few different things. If you think back to Kent Johnson's rookie year, he had over 40 points, and that's a really solid rookie season in the NHL. You expected him to take a step last year, but I think it was pretty apparent from the start of the season that he was getting pushed around too much. Of course, he has labrum surgery in the offseason. You're thinking, man, is this guy going to be able to add strength to compete this year? Well, yeah, he did. His recovery was pretty quick. He looks much stronger out there on the ice, visibly a larger player. He's never going to be a big guy, don't get me wrong, but he's visibly a larger player out there, which is allowing him to win puck battles. And in doing so, when you win puck battles, you're naturally going to have the puck on your stick more. For a player like Kent Johnson, that's excellent because he is a playmaker, and the Blue Jackets need the puck on his stick. I've got some special stats that I can access up in the Blue Jackets radio booth. One of them is puck possession time. Last night, Kent Johnson had the puck, the second most on the Blue Jackets behind Zach Werenski, and defensemen typically always lead the team in possession. So it's great to see a forward like Kent Johnson have the puck as much as he did in that game. So if he's going to have the puck a lot, it's going to mean good things for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So first and foremost, it's that size and strength. You can see that, and that's really allowed him to flourish so far. And off the ice, he's just carrying himself differently. He seems much more confident. He's a little bit more talkative, showcasing more of his personality. So I think all of that combines to say that Kent Johnson is just in a good place to start this season, which is great for the organization.
Yeah, those are great things to hear for sure. Speaking with Dylan Tyrer, the pre- and post-game host on the Blue Jackets radio network. Dylan, I want to talk about a couple of the young centers here on this team. Adam Fantilli, you already mentioned him a little bit, and Cole Sillinger. What do you see from those guys? Obviously, Fantilli coming off of a tough injury that cut his rookie season short last year. How do those guys look so far, and are they both ready, like maybe Kent Johnson, to take the next step?
Yeah, I think they look primed for another step. Adam Fantilli for sure. I think the one thing you were worried about with Fantilli going back to last season and that injury is he suffered a calf laceration, and it was a bad enough cut that he missed the rest of the season after getting hurt in late January. So with that being such a big muscle when it comes to the explosion and that sort of thing, you're wondering, is Adam Fantilli going to be himself? Because he is an extremely explosive skater, very quick, analytically when it comes to the skating. He's in, the top 90, 95th percentile when it comes to speed bursts in the National Hockey League. So that's a big part of his game. It looks like he's 100%. He said that he is 100%. He's not shy about saying that he wants to take a huge step this season. I think he looks primed to do exactly that. It's just a matter of getting a little bit more comfortable out there, creating some chemistry with his NHL line mates this season. The sky is really the limit for Adam Fantilli. When he was drafted, the Blue Jackets felt really lucky to get him 3rd overall. In any other draft, he would have likely gone number 1 overall. So that's the type of talent that we're talking about, and I do think he takes another step this season. Cole Sillinger, I think, started to take that step towards the end of last season. I think it's continued really nicely into training camp this year. He looks poised. He looks calm. He looks confident. He looks exactly what you want, or he looks like exactly what you want out of that third-line center. A guy that's going to chip in offensively, a player that's going to be very responsible defensively, and that's really where he flourished toward the end of last year. Some big-time matchups against a great center like Sidney Crosby, others in the National Hockey League, where Cole was challenged to shut those guys down, and he did a pretty good job of that. So if he's able to continue to grow as a two-way centerman this year, the Blue Jackets will be in a great spot down the middle.
And then, Dylan, real quick in our last 30 seconds to a minute here, Matthew Olivier, a goal scorer this year?
Yeah, he's found the back of the net plenty this preseason. Certainly not his game. He's more of that physical presence for the Blue Jackets, but he's also talked about how much he's tried to add to his toolkit offensively. It's something that he works on before the Blue Jackets practice almost every single time they skate. He worked on it a lot this offseason, and hey, the more offense that you can bring off the fourth line, the better.
Dylan, it's always great to talk to you, but it's even better right now because that means Blue Jackets hockey is back, and more importantly, October 10th is right around the corner. Dylan, I can't wait for it.
No, me neither. Thanks very much for having me, Ryan. I appreciate it. Hoping for the best for your Browns this afternoon.
Oh, I appreciate that. We need all the help we can get. He is Dylan Tyrer, the pre- and post-game host on the Blue Jackets radio network, joining us on the Brian Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Jackets regular season hockey is right around the corner. We'll let you know what's going on in the NFL right now. Coming up next, it's Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Hey Columbus, Caden Curry here, Ohio State student athlete for Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. I've had to be versatile my whole football career. Of course, I'm a defensive end, but I've also played special teams and even played fullback. Whether I'm blocking or tackling, I've got to be ready for any job out there, which is why I love the versatility in Kubota's BXB and L Series tractors. There's no task too big or small with Kubota tractors from Green & Sons. Visit greenandsons.com today or stop by their stores in Mount Sterling and in Raymond, north of Marysville, and get yourself a Kubota tractor that works as hard as I do.
Breaking gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Fall is here. It's the perfect time to replace those old, drafty windows before the cold sets in. As temperatures drop, you don't want to be stuck with windows that make your heating system work overtime because that will cost you money. My guys at Universal Windows Direct back everything up with a true lifetime warranty as long as you own the home and a 20-year warranty to the next homeowner. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply because they always do. Call them today, 614-502-5220, or go to uwd.com.
What would you do with $3,000 a month? No strings attached.
All kinds of stuff.
Buy a monkey?
That's a dream pet right there.
Build a super suit?
Let's go!
Woo! Meet the Hoagie Brothers in Universal Basic Guys, a new animated comedy.
We're really making a difference in the community. Feels good, eh?
Hell yeah.
Catch the premiere of Fox Animation Domination tonight on Fox.
Tonight, starting at 7 on Fox 28.
With so much happening every day,
ABC6 News is on your side, helping you understand the events that impact your community.
Do you believe Columbus City Schools is in a PR crisis?
Central Ohio's most experienced team of reporters, persistent in getting answers to the questions you're asking.
Are you worried about how people are going to react?
And when you need us, ABC6 News is on your side, finding solutions.
6 on your side, they're the ones willing to answer the phone.
You can count on ABC6 News to be on your side.
Start Reaction Monday off in style with Bobby and Beam on Morning Juice. They're talking Buckeyes at 6:20, 7:20, and 8:20, and probably all the other minutes in between.
Reaction Monday is sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Navigating mental health insurance benefits can be overwhelming, but you don't have to do it alone. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to guide you. Our expert team will help you connect with your health insurance plan to understand available behavioral health benefits. Say goodbye to frustration and hello to control over your mental well-being. Call 855-438-6442 today.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real-person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
This is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we know life's busy. Let us handle your car care. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or have our technicians come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Enjoy all the football this weekend, but remember to join us for Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Take the Fan with you wherever you go with the Fan app. Download it now, or we'll find you. You bring your lunch money today? Good, give it to us. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Welcome back in, Fan Sports Sunday. Ryan Baker and Cam Taylor here with you, taking you up till 2:30 when the Cleveland Browns pregame coverage for their game with the Las Vegas Raiders takes over at 2:30. We might be joined by our friend Tyvis Powell here coming up a little before the Browns pregame coverage begins as well. Talk a little Browns and Buckeyes. Cam, you were telling me that the coaches poll has just dropped and Ohio State is still number 3, but we have a new number 2, correct?
Yes, the coaches poll, Alabama, off of their big win last night over Georgia, has moved up into that number 2 spot, also getting 19 first-place votes, the second most first-place votes. And then they're followed by Ohio State, Tennessee, Georgia falls to number 5, followed by Oregon, Penn State, Miami of Florida, Missouri, and Michigan rounding out the top 10.
And I'd love to see, like, if that Alabama game, Cam, would have continued down the path it was on where they were 27-0, if they would have ended up dominating and blowing out Georgia like that, if they would have been number 1. I think they might have been.
Yes, definitely. Carson Beck in Georgia's second half being able to come back and eventually taking a 1-point lead late in the fourth quarter, I think definitely kind of changed how people viewed that game, where Bama was just dominating in the first half and kind of separating themselves and looked like one of the best teams or the best team in college football for a good chunk of that game. But as the scores showed, it was a lot closer than kind of that first half was looking like it was about to be.
So the Buckeyes obviously staying at number 3. I think that's fine. They're going to have their chance the next couple weeks with Iowa and then the Oregon game on October 12th to prove where they should be, where they feel they deserve to be. So obviously no worries here with the Buckeyes being just ranked number 3. I kind of figured, though, that Alabama would leapfrog them after that big win over Georgia. Want to catch you up. Well, we've got a lot of NFL games going on right now. Want to catch you up what's going on around the league as I'm watching the TV screen, and Jamar Chase just makes an incredibly unbelievable move, breaking a tackle and springing for a long touchdown. So that'll put the Bengals up 13-7 over the Carolina Panthers here, pending an extra point. The other game we can see here on the screen is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. Colts with a great start to this game. They've got a 17-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Again, the story in this one, Anthony Richardson has left this game. He's gone back to the locker room with an injury. Joe Flacco has come in and finished off that drive with a touchdown pass and then led them on a drive for a field goal as well. Jonathan Taylor had a touchdown run in this one before then. So the Pittsburgh Steelers facing a little adversity here as they trail the Indianapolis Colts 17-0. A big one in the NFC South, the Saints have a 14-10 lead over the Falcons. Taysom Hill has 2 rushing touchdowns in this one. Hill getting back into action for the Saints. The Rams and the Bears. This one is 6-0. The Rams have the lead in this one. Cam, this game might have been the biggest shocker to me of the week, that the Rams were underdogs in this game. I don't know how that's possible. How in the world were the Bears, and they are at home, favored in this game over the Rams? That just doesn't make any sense to me. 2 field goals so far, and they have a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, it just had to be Chicago being at home, just feeling given the home team, having the home team give like at least 2.5 points, like a field goal game. But yeah, I haven't really seen enough from Caleb Williams even in these first few weeks to make me think like he deserved to be a home favorite over the Rams. And I just want to see more from the Bears, and definitely they haven't shown up yet today, down 6-0. And then what about Baker Mayfield with two touchdowns and just scored a rushing touchdown to take a 21-0 lead over the Eagles as well.
Yeah, for sure. And we talked about that one, Devier and I did. This is a big one in the NFC because the NFC is kind of wide open right now with all the injuries to the 49ers. And we didn't know if there was a real definitive number 1 team in the NFC outside of the 49ers. A lot of people liked the Detroit Lions coming into the year. Some people still like the Eagles, some like the Cowboys, but there was no consensus. This is the best team, so that is a big game in the NFC. Something's just not right with the Eagles, even going back to all of last year, and obviously there's more time in this game. They just started the second quarter in this one. But, yeah, Tampa Bay looking very good right now. Baker Mayfield has looked very good this year as well. 2 touchdown passes for him in this one, and that rushing touchdown. Mike Evans and Trey Palmer are the guys with the touchdown receptions in this one. The Vikings, man, they are putting it to the Packers right now. 21-0. Sam Darnold looking like the number 2 pick in the draft, which he was in 2018. How about Baker and Darnold, both in that draft? Those two, it looked like maybe their careers were going to stall out. And Baker seems to have found a home in Tampa Bay, and Sam Darnold doing great with the Minnesota Vikings. He has 2 touchdown passes in this one, one to Jordan Addison, one to Josh Oliver. Jordan Addison also has a rushing touchdown in this one. The Jets have a 3-0 lead over the Broncos, and the Jaguars have a 10-7 lead right now over the Texans. So that's what's going on in the NFL right now in the 1 o'clock slate. We're going to get back to the Buckeye talk coming up here next. Brendan Gulick, he's the publisher of Buckeyes Now. He joins us. It's Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
I didn't expect to, but I need to get a new health insurance plan. The good news is I found Health Markets. I went to healthmarkets.com and saw plans available in my area. They have access to more than 200 carriers across the country. And if you need help, you can just speak with a licensed insurance agent. It's all right there for you.
Discover the advantages of real personalized service today at healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Paid actor per trail.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Attention Ohio pizza restaurant owners. Tired of glitchy point-of-sale systems slowing you down? Meet Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. With reliable hardware, an easy-to-use system, and 24/7 customer support, Hunger Rush speeds up your operations and boosts repeat orders by up to 10%. This is the restaurant point-of-sale built for pizza. Easily manage your drivers, easily take orders online, easily train your staff in minutes, and easily make modifications. Need to talk to a real person? That's easy too. Top Ohio pizzerias are winning with Hunger Rush. Solutions to help you streamline service, optimize workflows, and maximize profits. Join the thousands of successful restaurants transforming their operations with Hunger Rush for $0 down and $0 a month. Tools for menu management, marketing, customer engagement, and increased upsells, all in one simple platform. That's Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. Schedule your free no-obligation demo at ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Cam Taylor. The Ohio State Buckeyes opened conference play yesterday with a 38-7 win on the road at Michigan State. Will Howard went 21 of 31 for 244 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Senior wideout Emeka Egbuka had 7 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. And true freshman Jeremiah Smith finished the day with 5 catches for 83 yards, a touchdown, and a 19-yard touchdown on the ground. The Buckeyes will next face Iowa at home next Saturday at 3:30. In the NFL, We have the Vikings leading 21-0 over the Green Bay Packers in the middle of the second quarter. We also see the Jets having a 3-0 lead over the Denver Broncos. The New Orleans Saints are down 17-14 to the Atlanta Falcons. The Cincinnati Bengals have a 14-7 lead over the Panthers. And the Cleveland Browns follow us at pregame coverage starting at 2:30.
Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Welcome back in Fan Sports Sunday. Ryan Baker hanging out with you. Cam Taylor as well. Cam, I was in the other room doing something. Do we have Brendan? Is he ready to go? Okay, we're going to get Brendan. We're efforting Brendan Gulick, publisher of Buckeyes Now. We're going to talk some more Buckeyes here in just a second. Talking a lot of NFL today as well. How about the Bucs and Vikings? Man, they've been playing really well. The Falcons have just scored. They have taken a 17-14 lead over the Saints in that one. So quite a few games that we were catching here today as well. Back into the Buckeyes. 4-0 on the year. 1-0 conference start. Cam told you they're still number 3 in the coaches poll. The schedule is the schedule. You got to play who you play. I think the Buckeyes, this start has probably been just about as good as could be expected. The slow starts a little bit, yeah, but I think that's something that we've seen with Ryan Day and his teams throughout. And I also think the slow starts, you have so many key pieces coming in that have never been at Ohio State before. A Will Howard at quarterback. A Seth McLaughlin at the center position. You're starting a freshman in Jeremiah Smith at wide receiver. Caleb Downs, his first time playing for Ohio State. Now he's played in big atmospheres in Alabama as well. But you had so many new people coming in here with the team. I think that can kind of be, I don't know if it's an excuse or reason, what it is, but for some of the slow starts in games and the slow start in the opener against Akron. Brendan Gulick, he's the publisher of Buckeyes Now, joining us now on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. And I want to get your thoughts on that, Brendan, with some of these slow starts in games, and especially the slow start to begin the season. How much can we attribute to that, to Buckeyes getting their first action as Buckeyes in these games?
Yeah, good to talk to you, Ryan. Look, I think there might be a little bit of an element of that, but I don't know. I mean, the beginning of games are the easiest things to go out and on an offensive side script, because, a lot of coaches will spend much of the week building a game plan for what that first drive might look like. So some of it could be new faces. Some of it could be a new setting. Some of it, I think, is an opening script. And then, look, like yesterday, I think Michigan State's actually pretty good. Ohio State's defense came up with 2 really nice takeaways in really critical moments that kind of helped make the game feel a little bit more comfortable. But Michigan State moved the ball fine, those first 3-4 drives, and obviously, scored on one of them that was assisted by a turnover on the interception. So I don't know. I guess yesterday was clearly the best team that the Buckeyes have played so far. I guess I'm just not that concerned about how the game starts. You get a chance to play for 60 minutes, and it's natural to say, hey, gee, why didn't we go out against Akron and look the part, or Western Michigan and look the part, early in a game. But I think when you look at the totality of the work, it's pretty clear that Ohio State was substantially better than every team they've played so far. And by the end of the game yesterday, even that of Michigan State. So I'm not terribly concerned about the slow starts to games.
Yeah, and I feel the totality of the work Ohio State has done what they needed to. They've looked like they should have expected to. My only thing with those slow starts, and again, I think that's a big part of it this year with that. My only thing with that I would push back on with that is that's kind of seemed to be a pattern under Ryan Day teams, is they do get off to slow starts in games. Normally, I don't think that's a big deal. When it is a big deal is in the games that have counted, the games against that team up north, or the games in college football playoffs and whatnot. Obviously, it's great that you're there. I think that might be one thing. Maybe we'll have to look at that in 2 weeks when they take on Oregon.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, it's certainly something that they've dealt with for a little while over the course of a couple of years. And yeah, there have been some instances and some bigger games where maybe they've gotten off the slower starts. But I think there's an element of when you have to play against Ohio State, and you know what you're getting up for as an opponent. Your adrenaline's going the way that it's going at the beginning of the game. You're doing everything you can to convince yourself that you're going to beat the team, and you're inputting specific game plans throughout the course of the week. I mean, I thought Michigan State. Here's a good example of it. I thought they were pretty good yesterday when they came out in packages that were a little bit heavier, so that Ohio State had to put 3 linebackers on the field and then threw out of those formations, because it's been harder to throw on Ohio State when they've had 5 defensive backs, so put 4 out there. I'm not saying that Sonny Styles or Cody Simon or C.J. Hicks or anybody can't cover receivers. That's not what I'm getting at, but you have to change the way you play defense there. So just the idea that when you have a whole week to scheme up for teams, Jim Knowles has done a pretty good job of adjusting to that over time. And, I thought yesterday was another great example. Michigan State had some momentum, even though the scoreboard didn't reflect it in the first half. In the second half, they hardly moved the ball. So, I know it's a pattern, but it doesn't overly concern me.
And I think it's a great observation for you. And we talked about this earlier in the show, Brendan, that I thought early in that first half, they showed how much respect they had for Aiden Child's ability to be a playmaker by kind of sitting back and feeling out what they were getting with him. Then they turned up the aggression.
Yeah. I think there was an element of like, hey, let's see if this, younger guy can go out and make some big plays and prove that he can make some throws. And, to Michigan State's offensive line's credit, I thought they also did a fairly good job. But part of winning the game is wearing down your opponent. And Ohio State clearly was deeper and stronger and more physical than Michigan State was by the time the third and fourth quarter came around. I mean, Michigan State, in large part was matching them early on. So I think they wanted to see what Childs could do. And then once they started to turn up the pressure and kept that going, I mean, they had 4 sacks and 7 tackles for loss, over the course of a game where there's 50 plays that Michigan State ran yesterday. Those are pretty good odds, or I should say a pretty good ratio. So, all things considered, I thought Childs actually flashed pretty well, and I expect him to be a decent quarterback. I think, frankly, a lot of the teams that Ohio State's traditionally played in the East Division, which is no longer, we're seeing better play from. Rutgers looks good. Penn State looks pretty darn good. Indiana is off to their best start since 1967. I think Michigan State's taking good steps in the right direction. So, you got those 3 easy games early on, man. But I expect that, games are going to look fairly competitive here early on for the rest of the year.
Speaking with Brendan Gulick, he's the publisher of Buckeyes Now on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. First Big Ten game last night, first road game of the season last night. What was your biggest takeaway from the 38-7 win?
Jeremiah Smith's really good.
Man, that's not fair, Brendan. He's better than really good.
Oh my God! I mean, there were a couple takeaways. I also thought Caleb Downs played an unbelievable game. I thought Emeka Egbuka had a fabulous game as a blocker. He ultimately led the team with 7 catches, just under 100 yards, but. While he dropped a couple last night, I thought he blocked really well. Travion Henderson has proven time and again that he's a really good blocking running back. It was a selfless performance. That's probably the best takeaway. Will Howard looked really good on the road in his first Big Ten start on the road. I like the fact that Will Howard wiped the slate clean as quickly as he did and didn't let the really bad interception, he didn't let it linger and compound into multiple errors. But Ohio State is proving that they've got, the star power, they've got the depth. I mean, Devin Brown comes off the bench stone cold in that situation and throws a ball that doesn't have a whole lot of trajectory. It's basically a laser. And Jeremiah Smith just sticks one hand out and cones it. I mean, it was amazing. And the play before that, to go high point a ball over 2 defenders with one hand and pull it down, I mean, it's not like he was, if you're Michigan State, it's not like you thought, oh, well, that was bad coverage. I mean, you covered it as well as you could have. That kid's just amazing.
Brendan, I likened it when you were a kid and you played that game where you had the pad and you put it on your hands and it was Velcro and you threw the ball and it just stuck. That's what it did. Like, he didn't pull that in or anything. He just threw his paw out there and it stuck.
As fun as it was to watch that catch, it might have been even more fun for me to go back and look at a lot of the pictures the photographers took and posted on social media of all of the people on the sideline and their faces in the reaction to watching Jeremiah pull that in. I mean, it was a really special catch, and I think we're spoiled because there's a good chance we're going to see some more of that for a few years.
Brendan, the next 2 weeks they take on Iowa, and then the big game, the trip out to Eugene to take on Oregon. What do you think we learn about this Buckeyes team the next 2 weeks?
I'm really glad they had a chance to play a road game before they got to go to Oregon because I really didn't want that to be like their first big road test of the year. Iowa looks better, and I think Ohio State's going to be locked in for an Iowa team that is historically known for being really good defensively. They've got a heck of a running back in Caleb Johnson, and maybe quarterback play hasn't been as strong as they hoped when Cade McNamara transferred in. But I think Iowa is better offensively this year than they were a year ago, and I think Ohio State is probably looking to send a message that whether they're playing at home or on the road, they are willing to play and ready to play different kinds of style, no matter what their opposition is going to throw at them. I anticipate that this coming weekend's game is going to be a decisive win because I think Ohio State, top to bottom on the roster, is significantly more talented. And they're offensively, they've got too many weapons for Iowa to game plan against one or two guys in particular. So I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully another complete performance. And then, look, Oregon's really, really good, and they got, probably their best win of the year yesterday against UCLA. Certainly the most complete, I think, that Oregon has looked. But even at that, I think the Ducks have looked a little more vulnerable than I expected they would coming into the year. At preseason, I thought Oregon was going to be a legit top 4 team in the country. And as things have gone along, I don't feel that way anymore. But I expect Ohio State the next couple of weeks to start looking like they're really rounding into form.
And then, Brendan, last one for you here. I know you're a Cleveland guy. How sick will it make you today if Joe Flacco in a Colts jersey takes out the Steelers?
I'm not a Pittsburgh fan, so I'm willing to concede the fact that even though Joe Flacco is not a Cleveland Brown, I can be a Colts fan here this afternoon. That would be okay.
He should still be here, though, right?
He should be. And I'll tell you what, being in that locker room a lot last year, the demeanor was pretty different. And I'm not trying to dunk on Deshaun Watson. It is what it is. He's created a lot of the mess that he finds himself in. But there was a different presence in that Cleveland locker room last year with Joe. And it was really refreshing. And I think I speak for a lot of people that say we miss him.
Brendan, unfortunately, as Browns fans, we're used to it, so we know how to deal with this. Thanks for taking part of your Sunday and spending some time with us. Always good to talk to you, Brendan.
Absolutely. Good to talk to you, too. We'll talk to you soon, Ryan.
It's Brendan Gulick, the publisher of Buckeyes Now, joining us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We wrap up the show. Coming up next, it's Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
APCO, windows, siding, and decks. Business First says we're the largest remodeler in town. Our philosophy is simple. We don't rely on sales gimmicks to get our customers. We rely on our reputation.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with 0 experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
Busy schedule? This is Ryan Krieger, and Krieger Ford has you covered. Krieger Ford offers pickup and delivery, or our mobile service van will come right to you. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Your car needs a new battery. That'll be $19,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a second opinion.
You wouldn't accept that quote, so why accept this one from that other company?
$19,000 for a new sewer line.
I'm going to call the waterworks instead.
Facing an expensive sewer repair? If another company's quote is way more than expected, call the Waterworks for a second opinion. We have the most experienced drain techs in Central Ohio. Call 614-232-2222.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real-person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Dick from Dayton says, listen to the Ryan Day Show. Paul Keels and Jim Lachey join Coach every Thursday from noon to 1.
Presented by Roosters, a fun casual joint, and official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. Eventually. How about right now? Trust and Will makes the process of creating your will easy. Like while you're lounging on the couch, easy. Visit trustandwill.com and use offer code Columbus for 10% off your plan. Designed by attorneys, but customized by you, one question at a time. Trust and Will offers a step-by-step process, and all documents are state-specific, legally valid, and secure, so you know your future is protected with peace of mind at trustandwill.com. Visit trustandwill.com and use offer code Columbus now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trustandwill.com. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney. Documents are not valid until formally executed in accordance with applicable law.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies and a couple scattered showers on this Sunday. Temperature struggling, only getting into the low 70s this afternoon. Down to the mid-60s overnight, starting off your work and school week. A couple light showers possible early on Monday. A few more scattered showers Monday afternoon. High temperatures in the mid-70s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Your go-to destination for Buckeye football talk all year round. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Final segment, in fact, of Fan Sports Sunday. That's because we've got coverage of the Cleveland Browns coming up next. Woo-hoo. They take on the Vegas Raiders today at 4:15, and I was out during the break wandering the halls, and who do I find? My good buddy Tyvis Powell, speaking of Browns pregame coverage. Running around in the studios out there.
Just getting ready before I go live, which you can catch right here on The Fan right after this show is done.
How you doing, my friend?
You know what? I'm doing really well. You know, I had a trip to Indiana yesterday. Had some great coverage out there, even though it rained.
Hoosiers the real deal.
They are. They look really good. I can't wait till, they play Ohio State. They could potentially, and they probably will be undefeated when they get here.
So I wanted to ask you, let's first, before we go to NFL, I want to ask your thoughts on the Buckeyes last night. What did you think? What did you see? What did you like, dislike, any of that?
I mean, I love the fact. I'll tell you what, the only thing that I had a problem with was the interception that Will Howard threw. That was one of those, what are you doing moments. Yeah. Outside of that, everything else was pretty good to me. I mean, they struggled a little bit in the passing game at the beginning, but I feel like that's usually how it goes. You're trying to feel these receivers out. You got to understand their tempo, how they're doing things. Obviously, in the second half, they ran away with things, but JJ is still that guy. I mean, he makes some highlight plays. Emeka came alive. The running game was great. It's very hard for me to watch them and then look at other teams and be like, they actually would be they're as good as the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes are head and shoulders above everybody right now.
Let me ask you about this since you're a defensive guy. You played safety. In the first half yesterday with the defense, did it seem like they were kind of sitting back, respecting Child's ability to play, to be a playmaker rather than attacking like this defense is so good at?
That's the vibe that I got. Okay. It was a lot of things that he got off that I was like, they should have been on that more. But I think, like I said, it's a fill-out process. That first first couple of drives is like, I got to see exactly what he's doing. You know that he can hurt you with his legs, and he actually can make some decent throws, but I have to, let me fill it out to see how it goes. And then once I feel the tempo of how everything is going to be, now it's time to make that adjustment, lock in, and handle it. And I think that's exactly what they did.
Caleb Downs last night looked like the dude that we all know he is. What did you think of how he played?
I mean, solid performance. I mean, now the thing with him is you always expect him to be just like when he's out there, you should notice him out there on the field. And I think he came alive last night.
He was noticeable.
Yeah. He reminds me of this guy that wore 23 back in the secondary back in the day.
Malik Hooker?
No, he didn't wear
23.
Yeah, no, this guy that wore 23. But now, actually, he's doing a lot better than I ever did. I can't wait to see how he continues to grow, in this system. I think he's finally found his rhythm and his way, and they're allowing him to make some plays.
I'm wearing my Browns shirt. I can't wait to hear the Browns here on the Fan today when they take on the Raiders. But I don't want to talk about the Browns. I don't like talking about the Browns.
Why?
It depresses me.
That's a shame.
Especially when I see
that's because you have a negative connotation towards them right now.
Especially when I see Baker Mayfield doing what he's doing today and what Joe Flacco's doing what he's doing.
Good for Joe.
I know. I'm happy for them, but it's like, what could have been?
Well, see, the thing about it all is...
My glass is half empty, Tyvis.
Yeah, it is. Who's to say that they would be what they are today if they would have stayed?
We don't know.
Maybe they are better off somewhere else.
Actually, I will say this. Because he's a veteran, and I don't think anything at this point phases him, I think Joe Flacco would be what he was last year and what he's doing right now. Listen, Baker, I don't think would have. If Baker would have stayed, I don't think it was going to work with this front office and him. So
I agree with that.
I'll agree with part of your statement. I'll disagree with the Flacco part.
Joe Flacco was never coming back. There's no way that you're telling me that if Joe Flacco was still on this team today, that everything would just be great. No. Especially with the way Deshaun's playing. They're there. You want to cause chaos, don't you? It's not just the fan.
I want to win football games.
It's not just the fan bases that will have chaos. It will be a locker room that starts to get divided. And once the locker room gets divided, it's no coming back from that. Therefore, the Browns did the best thing. They allowed Joe Flacco to go, and now he's looking good for the Indianapolis Colts. They have Jameis Winston, who people love. That's it.
The offensive line's in shambles. No Njoku still. We don't know what we're getting from Deshaun Watson, but no Devontae Adams, a banged-up Max Crosby. What can we look for from the Browns today?
The Browns need to do absolutely whatever it takes to win this game. I mean, you look around, Pittsburgh is losing 17-0. Cincinnati's tied up right now, but they're 0-3.
Baltimore plays the Bills.
Like, this is a chance for y'all to get back in this race, especially in the division. So they got to find a way to get it done.
And this week and next week against the Commanders, then the schedule gets brutally tough. And there's no layups for the Browns the way they're playing right now. That was proved last week against the Giants. The schedule gets really hard after these next 2 weeks.
Well, they need to find their identity. They need to figure out what they're going to be, and they need to just go with it. You know, I've seen, like, to me, they've been dibbling, dabbling in a lot of things these first 3 games. At this point, when you get to the quarter mark of the season, which is today, you should know who you are, and you should go off of that.
Hey, thanks for joining me for this final segment. It was fun.
No problem.
Wish we could have done it for longer.
Well, you know, you had to call me.
You want to tell everyone what's up next?
The Browns pregame show with Tyvis Powell and Andy Baskins.
I love it. I can't wait. And then after that, 4:25, we get the kick of the Cleveland Browns and the Las Vegas Raiders. So make sure you keep it locked right here on The Fan to hear Tyvis, hear the Browns. This has been Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky's Sawmill Toyota.